All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live with the latest and greatest Lethal Nonsense podcast, number 24. Have some recurring guests and have a brand new guest on here. So we'll go ahead and introduce him. Saf Canoli, finally, I get to talk to you in the flesh. How's it going?
Yep, I'm good, man. How are you? It's good to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I feel very
Yeah,
fortunate
no
to be
problem.
here with all these wonderful people. Looking forward to, as you say, shooting the shit, having a good time. Maybe a spicy comment or two. We'll see what happens. See what
And
happens.
then we also have Nick on here again,
How you doing? Happy to be here.
as well as John.
You didn't tell me that there was an un-American person on this show.
Oh,
I feel like I should have been disclosed this information. This is unreal. All right.
mate. Don't worry. I can put on. I'll put on the accent for you. Make you feel more welcome. What do you want me to
Is
do?
that you, John Wayne?
Is this me?
Aren't we allies anyway? Aren't we supposed to be? Aren't we supposed to be friends?
Sure, everybody's friends as long as you're not
Yeah.
Chinese. Anyways.
Dude, actually, I got yelled at for not saluting an Australian officer in
Oh
Okinawa.
yeah.
Oh.
Maybe you told me about that. Damn.
Yeah.
Wait,
That
wait,
the
what?
digger took it personally.
Yeah, so we got yelled at because we didn't salute foreign officers that were like allies, which I didn't even know that was a thing. But I also don't know how to tell like foreign rank devices. So it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to know?
Hey,
Like,
it
I
would
know
be
all the-
really, it would be really funny if like an officer was like yelling at somebody and they said, "Sir, I literally outrank you. Shut the fuck up." Like,
rank's
because they didn't recognize the patches on the American uniforms, and like technically the equivalent rank outranked that person. So technically they should have been saluting them.
They're all just Googling each other. Like they're trying to like bluff their way into knowing what they're talking about. They're like, hello there, sir, or I can command you, perhaps. They're both like trying to like make the other person answer first because neither one of them knows. They're just like,
Here's the deal. Let's just salute each other and we'll go on our way.
I would have thought that the rank was irrelevant. I mean, does it matter? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
you have
you
to
know,
salute officers.
even if they're from a different military.
Yeah.
Really?
I've never heard that part. Like, I know you had to salute a superior officer, but like, I never knew you had to salute a foreign one. That is, I've never heard
Yeah.
that one before.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
understand
didn't-
showing respect, but sorry. cut you off.
unless they're French because they probably didn't really fight.
No, you give them the French salute.
Dude, I got called a slur because I slandered Expedition 33.
Ooh.
You what?
Oh, you angered the Expedition 33 stands. Didn't you know that like
Should've known
Expedition
better.
33 was the first RPG ever?
Yeah, I know, you would think
Like
so,
it was
right?
it was the first thing to do everything. Like literally, like sorry, they are oh gosh, it's they are Jennifer Lawrence level delusional.
Well, you know how like Yu-Gi-Oh has turns in their card game? They actually got that idea from Expedition 33. It's the first
No,
turn-based anything.
did you know that Koichi Sakamoto, the only reason he was able to make Final Fantasy 3 is because he had a prophetic dream, and the dream was actually a let's play by DSP of Expedition 33.
What's funny is that I was earlier this year I played Legend of Dragoon for the first time, and that is an RPG turn-based where during your attacks you like hit certain timings. The little square goes to another square and you got to hit it right as it lines up, and it's like, so timing based with the turn-based RPG. So it was really funny. Like I'm playing this game that's like 25 years old that's doing this thing, and then it happens like later that year in Expedition 33, and
Not
everybody's
even
like,
that
it's-
Mario RPG. Mario
Oh yeah,
RPG.
Mario had the dodging as well. With the, I believe, during the
Yeah.
attacks and everything. And so, but it was just funny. Like I'm playing a classic for the first time just because it happened to release on the store. With the save points and rewinding and everything. But then I'm like, and then immediately everybody's like, "This is revolutionary." I'm like, I just played an old ass pixely looking game that did this
See,
thing. So
The problem is, Expedition 33 is a good game, a great game, amazing game. It is a breath of fresh air. There are lots of accolades. The problem is, it's getting a little bit too overglazed, and you're getting people turn against it as a result.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah, that's how I am with every FromSoft game. I'm just bitter because people overpraise them. I'm just like, yeah, I liked it. It's like a 3 out of 5. And they're just
it's
like,
like
what the fuck?
I will say this though, as bad as Expedition 33 fans are, they're not as bad as Kojima stands.
Mm.
Oh, really?
Like literally, Kojima fans could eat Kojima shit and would tell you it tastes delicious.
What's funny is that
I'm
like
not joking.
I always enjoy his games, but I also I like to kind of make fun of him in that same vein where, he'll do like some dialogue that carries on for 3 hours. I'm just like, here we go. Like, this is what I knew I was paying money for this.
I do enjoy the fact that he's an unabashed Westaboo.
Yeah, he's always fanboying over something or another in his games. Yeah.
Yeah, loves it. Loves it.
But yeah, I think in my experience, the FromSoft fans are the worst because and I love beating their games and having the platinums just to I literally just had a folder saved to the screenshots because anytime that I didn't give Elden Ring like a 5 out of 5, they were like, get good. You clearly didn't play it. And I'm just like, here's the platinum. They're just like, oh, well, you weren't determined to hate it. I'm like, yeah, I spent 60 hours just wanting to hate something, sure.
Here's my platinum of literally every From Software game ever.
I do have like 4 of them because I do enjoy their games, but their fans are so annoying. Anytime that you have any criticism, they just assume that you either never played it or played it for a little bit, sucked, and quit. And I'm just like, no, I beat that. Like, I played through it all. Like, I know you'd love to pigeonhole it, but it's just not true.
They just assign too much of their own identity with the games because they have so hard, don't they?
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've encountered stands for so many things, and they are some of the stupidest people ever. Like, I've encountered Rockstar stands, Nintendo Switch stands. Like I've encountered some of the worst, like some of these worst people, and they're stupid. They're idiots. Like I swear they're bots or paid counts. I don't know.
Then they gotta filter it more and more. They're like, well, did you play it this way? Well, did you play it with this? Oh, aha, you cheated. You used a sword. You're supposed to fight with only your fists in the game. And it's just like, to truly get a challenge. And it's like,
unless you do it in your underwear with a chamber pot over your head.
You got to play with the Guitar Hero controller on blindfolded.
Speedrunners. Oh, they're a special brand of crazy. Like I remember there was this one speedrunning strat where you had to put your NES on a hot plate in order to glitch out like a Dragon Quest. Like I swear if it was come out that literally if you had to take a drill bit to your head and you got like a 30-second time skip on a game, people would consider doing it.
Did you even lobotomize yourself before playing? You didn't play on hard mode.
You didn't use don't lobotomy even strat? What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Lobotomy strat.
Dedication to the craft.
Yeah, backseater at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, hello, Backseater and Ellen. Sorry about that. Ellen says Kojima's next game is going to be a Choices Matter roguelike action RPG visual novel in the form of a soft drink. You drink it, then take a piss. The level will appear in the foam in the toilet bowl.
I do remember all the fucking monster advertisements.
The worst part is I could actually see that.
Oh, I love the monster advertisements in the first Death Stranding. It was like every time you rested, you would have like a bunch of Monster Energy drinks there. And then he's always got to have all of his celebrity friends in there.
See, that's why his very messy breakup with Konami. I'm not yes, Konami is a shitty company, but also you got to realize Kojima probably must have been very, very hard to work with, because he was still making them money. So I feel like it's like both sides probably were doing stuff wrong, in my opinion.
I think it was Konami's HR department because they were trying to stop him from scanning everyone's feet. They were holding him back.
Wait. Did Dan Harmon was working for Kojima Productions? I didn't realize that. Change it. The Nickelodeon documentary lied to me.
If I'm gonna be completely honest though, if he manages to get Ellie Fanning, I just don't know why he would bother scanning her feet as opposed to anything else. I mean, why reduce it?
Do you remember that controversy for Beyond Two Souls where there was like a glitch in the shower scene to where you could actually turn the camera around and see Ellen.
Oh, Ellen. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, oh
Ellen
yeah, Ellen
Page.
Page's,
Hey.
yeah.
And this was like pre, whatever. So it's like you
Yeah.
actually got to see like, because she was kind of a decent looking lady. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh yeah, everybody was crushing on her after Juno, yeah.
Yeah.
So like you actually got a decent view, but like
Well, and yeah, David Cage was always having nudity in his stuff because he had the random ass like shower scene at the beginning of Heavy Rain where the chick's getting chased around her apartment by ninjas, and then he's like, "Oh, it was all a dream. I just wanted to have a scene where she was naked running around."
I mean,
it
to be
feeds
fair,
nothing into the story.
to be fair, like if I'm doing a game and I somehow get Eva Green, you bet your sweet ass. I'm just like, here, Eva Green. Here's a few more pages. Like, why is there a shower scene? By the way, I only saw at the end of that script. There's actually a bonus check for $50,000. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, John, we've given you $100 million to make your AAA game. I'm just like, all right. So first order of business, how much does it cost to have Salma Hayek and Sydney Sweeney wrestle each other and rip each other's clothes off? And they're just like, oh well, sir, we've never asked them to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
shit.
call me back to me, and then I'll know how much budget I have for the rest of the game. Let's see.
Yeah,
What's
Sydney
fu-
Sweeney
what-
mocap win. When's the Sydney
what's-
Sweeney mocap happening?
What's crazy is I guarantee you if she did get hired for like a game studio and they asked her to do a nude scene, she might actually do it. Because
Yeah, she's usually pretty eager to. Yeah.
Eva
No.
Green, you say?
Well, Eva Green was always willing to do that too. I remember the 300 sequel. She was pretty upfront about that, so to speak.
I was gonna say, I swear to God, like every movie I can think of her, I swear she's got a.
it's not like
tits out,
everyone
like,
hasn't already seen Sydney Sweeney's cannons. So
Well, yeah, and then once you show them once, it's like, well, I'm gonna hit 40 eventually, and then nobody will care about me, so I may as well show it while I got it before things start drooping here.
Yeah. I'm just looking at that photo. You know the one that did the rounds recently, that like when the one where she's got the short hair. I don't know if she's trying to look like Marilyn Monroe. She's not leaving much to the imagination, man. Like, far out.
I mean that.
the see-through dress.
Far out.
Did you see the meme where it's like
Which one?
Sydney Sweeney's father trying not to see his daughter's cannons, and it's like the guy like I'm lying.
I think Alexandra Daddario, she posted something about that once that like everybody was just like sending, like her mom would look at her social media posts and all the replies would just be like her fucking True Detective scene where she did it nude. She's like, guys, can you stop making my mom stare at my tits all the time?
I mean, your mom should be proud.
Yeah.
That, like to give Alexander Daddario such a nice set of tits. I mean, it's a crime that she has such beautiful eyes that make me stare at her eye. Like literally, when Alexander Daddario is the only person who would say, "Down here, guys."
Yeah, my perfect tits are down here, please.
Don't worry about my eyes.
See, that is why Alexander Daddario cannot be a superhero, because like if she wore the mask, everyone still recognized her because of it.
I think Lethal has lost his massive female audience that he had before we started talking. So
Huge fucking knockers.
you might get a lesbian audience though, as the positive. So you know,
I mean, straight women
doesn't
can
hurt
like
to
boobs
branch
too.
out.
So
Well, we're
Yeah, Lethal
committing,
women.
we're chasing the
Misogyny.
bisexual crowd, actually.
yeah.
It doesn't hurt to branch out, huh? Expand, diversify, reach new target audiences.
I
about
mean, we can always
DEI
talk about
around
small
here.
boobs. I mean, I'm all for equality of boobies. We can talk about like how good B cups are.
Yeah.
Speaking of boobs, Princess Leia is a Star Wars character. She has boobs.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
How
an
good.
expert segue by myself. No.
Excellent.
Ellen says at least Kojima likes his feat of legal age. Hopefully,
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
If Kojima like assembles the Feet Avengers, he's like Quentin Tarantino. He's like assemble.
That reminds me. So, did you see that news story where apparently Uma gave her daughter Maya some advice because when she go work on a Quentin Tarantino film, because she was in the One Time in Hollywood, he said,
oh
"Keep
yeah,
your shoes on." Uma told her daughter because she was going to work on a Tarantino film to hear you talk like.
Tarantino's like filming. He's like, you know what would you guys ever see that South Park episode where it's like the pervy photographer and he's like, oh, you know what would work great here is if you just took off your shirt and yeah, just get into like your underwear. And so it's like Tarantino's like that when he's filming. He's like, there's something not working in this scene. I think maybe lose the shoes. And like it's always his fucking advice.
My favorite Tarantino story is, you know, like in Dust to Dawn. Okay, John knows where I'm going with this. The scene where like Selma Hayek puts the tequila and then the guy sucks like, so you gotta realize Quentin Tarantino wrote that film. So he literally wrote a scene where a guy was sucking Selma Hayek's toes with tequila on it, and then casted himself in the part. I don't know whether to bow in awe or cringe.
It's like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, whenever he wrote like his first movie, he's like, all right, I'm a sex addict and my girlfriend is Scarlett Johansson. It's like, you bastard, shut up.
But Quentin Tarantino also wrote a scene with him saying the N-word.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, and
in a terrible accent. In a terrible accent, right?
No, Samuel Jackson literally gave him the N-word pass. So it's cool, guys. no, seriously. He's like Samuel Jackson on multiple interviews where he does give him the N-word pass.
Yeah, because people were, he was basically, because people were insulting him for like writing into his screenplays so much, basically. And then, he's just like, nah, he's fine.
If Samuel Jackson gives you the N-word pass, you're good.
my favorite interview of Tarantino's though is definitely whenever the lady's like, why all the violence, why all the killing? He's like, because it's so much fun, Jane. He yells at her. He finally gets frustrated with him. Oh, and then the other one where the guy kept trying to ask him about violence in his movies. And it was the same guy that got Robert Downey Jr. to walk out on him because he was asking all these stupid questions. And,
and he was,
Tarantino was just like, you know what? I've already given my thoughts on this in other interviews. I'm not your monkey. I'm not going to dance for you. He's like, because you don't matter. Only my movie. You're here to promote my movie. Understand that. He just like undressed the guy in front of everybody.
That guy has like a history of really toxic behavior. Like he interviewed Princess Di back in the day. There's a bunch of stuff he did, like Michael Jackson and whatnot.
Yeah,
like,
and Robert Downey, it was like
the guy is just trash. He is just trash.
He tries to ask like super deep questions whenever he's just on the fucking promotion circuit. Like he's supposed to just be like, "What was it like working with blah blah blah? Oh, is this movie fun to film?" You know, it's that you're supposed to just rifle it off because they're seeing 60 people to interview, and he always goes like, "Oh, I will now get into the deep philosophical recesses of your mind, sir."
On the exact opposite end of the spectrum. Did you see that clip recently where like Harrison Ford and a bunch of other people were getting interviewed on a British thing, and the lady who's like part of the break back like, "Oh, I actually don't care about Blade Runner or whatnot." You like Harrison Ford had like the biggest shit-eating grin. Like he actually laughed. Like he was like, "Oh, finally, I got a real person." Like it is like the best interview because you know Harrison Ford actually smiles and laughs, and apparently. For the Indiana Jones, he specifically requested her, so it's like he did something right.
Yeah, well, the way he got Robert Downey to walk out was he was just like, "So about your father and this quote that you said in prison," and he's just like, "I'm sorry, are we promoting a movie here?" And you can see Robert Downey like visibly like starting to breathe hard and just scowl at this guy, and he keeps asking, and then he's just finally just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go. This is getting a little Diane Sawyer-y for me," and he's just like walked out.
And Robert Downey Jr. gave him more of a lead. Like he gave him a couple warning shots. Like the guy could have backed off like 2 or 3 times, and things probably would have been fine. Like he probably would have been cursing him out, but like there's like 3 different times.
Room.
3 different times he said like, "Hey, you know, blah blah blah."
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. That brown guy with the fat head.
Yeah,
he's got the. Doesn't he have a stupid British accent as well? He's got the. Fucking...
Yeah, it was an Age of Ultron promotion tour. Like everybody else is just asking things about Age of Ultron. Robert Downey's just like, "What the fuck?"
Let's talk about your traumatic past. Let's talk about how you took into drugs. Let's talk about rape. Come on, man.
You said this quote 10 years ago about not being a Republican whenever you entered jail. He's just like, "Yeah, I don't even remember what the fuck I said, dude. I'm here to talk about robots killing the Avengers."
Like seriously, give me a hard question. Ask me like how I should not stare at Scarlett Johansson's ass the entire time.
Hey, she wanted people to do that. Haven't you seen that GIF where she waggles it in front of Favreau and everybody on Iron Man 2 set?
Okay, I like Scarlett Johansson, but she's a fucking hypocrite because, like, I don't know if you've seen, but like the last few years, she's been like, "Oh, I don't like how I was objectified." It's like every fucking starlet does the same fucking thing. It's like when they're in their 20s, like, "Oh, I'm cool. I'll throw my tits out. I'll be all objectified. I'll do that. It's great." And then once they start hitting 40, the wrinkles come in, the boobs start sagging. The next girl, the next it girl comes. All of a sudden, oh, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Well,
It's why I have no. Okay, this is gonna get clipped, guys. I have no love for like the ex porn stars who say, "Oh, I wish all my videos could be scrubbed to the internet." It's like they're all very happy to collect the paychecks. As soon as the money stops running out, all of a sudden porn's this, like, I'm sure porn is an exploitive industry, but they're more than happy to collect the paychecks when the money was coming in good. But as soon as it stopped coming in, Riley Reid, literally, it's literally a pipeline. It's every porn star. Like, they're more than happy. Mia Khalifa, all of them.
Yep.
They're more than happy to get the good money, but as soon as checks start coming in, bam. Like, I was watching this video. Like this guy wasn't even porn. He was just like a casting producer. Oh God, he was like he just came off like the scummiest fuck you could imagine. They're all well and happy to be a part of this toxic process when the pay's good, but as soon as the checks start coming in, oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I always just respond immediately with like, well, that's a valid stance. If you want to return all the money that you've made from that, we will no longer sexualize you or talk about it.
Yeah, it's like Jim Carrey with Kick-Ass. You know, he did Kick-Ass 2. Which, by the way, he was great in Kick-Ass 2. I'm just gonna say that he did Colonel Sergeant's Threat. He was great in the role. But then like a shooting happened somewhere, and he like called out against it, called out the movie, but he kept the paycheck. Like,
had the virtue signal, yeah.
If he would have like taken all the money and donated it, I would have been like, okay, at least you return the money, at least you stick to principles. I can still respect you based off of at least you were consistent. I can at least respect that. But no, he kept the money.
Let's see. Didn't both the women you just mentioned try and sue Brazzers or whatever for not paying them, and then they produced receipts proving they paid him?
I would not be surprised.
It's like a WWE. Yeah, they're always saying that sort of shit once they're like retired. Like, oh, it's so exploited. I'm like, that's like, you realize that's like the main reason you made the money, right? Like,
yeah. Everyone was happy with Vince when he was making everybody lots of money. You know, same thing with Harvey Weinstein. Everybody was more than happy to look the other way with Harvey Weinstein when he was winning all the awards, making all the money. You notice how it's as soon as they stop making the money, or they I think my conspiracy theory is Me Too was an orchestrated effort to purge Hollywood of all the old men dominating things.
Yeah,
that's my conspiracy theory.
It's what I think Nerdrotic is always saying. He's like, it was a power grab. You know, basically like all these people that wanted some upward mobility, they got to clear out all the spots essentially and just like move on up. And there was such a wide variation as far as what people were being accused of. Like, I remember John Lasseter, it was like, well, he hugged me weird. It's like, well, you should maybe elaborate on that a little bit. They're like, nope, it's
the
Me Too. He's fired. And it's
the
just
worst
like,
one I heard was Garrison Keller, the guy who did like the Prairie Home Companion NPR show. He got Me Too. You want to know what he did? He put his hand on a woman's back and rubbed it, you know, probably some consoling or comforting gesture or whatever, you know. That's what he did. That.
This is why Keanu Reeves doesn't touch people.
Even if he didn't want that, even if he didn't want that, you know, like at worst, you pull him into an HR meeting and say, Garrison, that's bad. Don't do it. And then if you did it again, maybe something. That is an HR meeting at worst.
Yeah, I think for reasonable people, if you really don't like that, because that's like a perfectly normal, like human type of contact, and it's just like, oh, you know, if you really don't want it from that person, because you're probably fine with it from a lot of people, you're just like, you just literally just tell it to them at the moment. It's not like they're gonna freak out and start hitting you or something. You're just like, hey,
that's what I'm saying. Like, absolute worst case scenario, absolute like reasonably worst case scenario is They go to their manager, they say they're uncomfortable, they get pulled into a meeting and said, hey, so-and-so didn't like how you did that. We're not firing you, but we're just going to document it. Don't do it again. That is literally worst case scenario, reasonable scenario.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I hate the most about that is just the lumping together of vastly different things. Like, it's like, oh, this guy forced himself on 6 actresses. He's just like John Lasseter, who hugged a couple people weird that they didn't even tell him that they thought it was weird at the time. It's like, I think those are a little bit different. And they're just like, nope,
or
they're both
like
sex offenders. It's like,
no.
Like,
And on the flip side, Harvey Weinstein. Did he do a lot of creepy stuff? Yes. Did a lot of women lay down on the couch for a role? Fuck yes. Like we that happens. Like is the casting couch exploitative? Yes. Do women use that as a means to get roles? Yes. And I'm sorry, if men had the option to do that as well, they would. And I wouldn't be surprised if men have done it as well.
Terry Crews, I think he's the one that talked about that, and he was talking about literally being like forced upon.
Brendan Fraser got canceled for a decade because some producer came onto him and he refused and he got blackballed for a decade. That's why we didn't see him for a good I mean, he had a string of bad films too, but like,
yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, as the producer or whatnot, you're taking that risk. I guess, like, you would have to get something official, but then they probably don't want to make it official. It's like, yeah, like, go on a date with me and I'll cast you on this role. Like, and then like 10 years later, they'll say, oh, but it's like, no, I just asked her. And it's like, and then she agreed to it. It was a quid pro quo. We all knew it. And then, yeah, they're just.
But there's also lots of actresses who are like, hey, would you like to go on a date with me? You know, maybe talk about the role. Like, I'm sorry. Like, is it more like the producers exploiting the women? Yes. But there's also a non-zero number of women who also use that to their advantage. Like, it exists.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, it's kind of a dirty, sleazy business when you enter Hollywood. I mean, what was Sweeney was just talking recently about like people were selling her to get Botox at like 16 and shit. And it was like,
that's the problem with Hollywood. No, the problem with Hollywood right now is they're getting that buku fat removal and making like all these women are looking like fucking ghouls.
Yeah, what's her face from Underworld?
Ariana Grande and
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
And the Enid woman. It's like because they all have these nice little baby faces, you know. Also the Erin Moriarty basically just like had whoever the plastic surgeon was, like that guy needs to be sued.
The boys actress.
Yeah, Aaron. He just looked like a hacksaw saw to her face.
Yeah, I remember the picture whenever like season 4 came out and everybody was like, what the hell happened in the last like 2 years or whatever? Because it was like, you know, she's like still in her 20s and she just like
Anna Taylor-Joy did it and she has a face that it works for her. You know, she has like that. Like if any Hollywood starlet is an alien, it's Anna Taylor-Joy. I'd still fuck her.
Yeah, she's got those like wide apart eyes and then it kind of V's. Yeah, it's
like the buku fat thing works for her because she's got that kind of like facial thing. But like every other Hollywood star is trying to do it now. They want like those big cheekbones with sunken cheeks and like.
And I've seen this one in person where they get the injections and then you got to kind of keep up with that because I've seen older women with it and then it just starts kind of drooping. And it's like, oh no.
And the problem is like
you're melting.
For every bad plastic surgery job, there's lots of women. Like I guarantee you, like the Hollywood starlets who are aging gracefully, they're not aging gracefully. They just have a very good plastic surgeon and they're very smart about what they do. Like Chrissy Brinkley, you know, she looks amazing. She's in her fucking 60s and she looks amazing. I would do her in a heartbeat. But I guarantee you, she's had some work done.
Just be like Salma Hayek and have a billionaire husband and probably get like 10 hours of sleep a night and just moisturize all day. It's like, I will preserve my beauty.
Or just be Asian or Hispanic or black, you know. If you're one of those races, you don't need to do plastic surgery because you don't age. You guys don't age.
No, I wouldn't say that's true because as soon as Latinos turn 50, they just look straight up like Abuela.
That to be fair, that's like the Hispanics and the Asians. But black don't crack. I'm sorry, I have seen like a lot of older black women who look freaking amazing, and you know, I gotta say.
Did y'all hear about that strange guy on Stranger Things getting accused of harassment, but they didn't really specify what the harassment was?
Yeah, that was a
Also,
suspicious sounding one.
well, I was watching a video about it. So his ex-wife Lily something dropped an entire like album that was like a diss track for him, perfectly timed to it. But like the stuff with Millie Bobby Brown, apparently that was like years ago. Like this stuff had been resolved like years ago or whatever. They don't say what it is, you know.
Yeah, I hate whenever it's vague. It's like, I understand like it's traumatic to relive, but if you're going to throw out an accusation in public, you kind of take on the burden of you got to be, you can't just throw out something super vague and expect everybody to just instantly believe you.
That's like me saying, Cannoli said something mean to me, but I won't say
Yeah.
elaborate on what it is.
Oh, do you remember during like Me Too? Every actress was doing like a Me Too post and like saying, "Oh, this happened, but they didn't name any names." See, like that's why, like the only that's why when like one person gets accused, that's when the pylon happens. It's and you get like one or two people, either the people who actually were harmed by that person and didn't feel safe to say it until it's safe. In that case, I that's fine. I get that. And the other people who are just trying to be like, who are trying to hop onto it for the fame reasons. I don't know the ratio, but those are the two kinds of people.
Yeah. Well, on the opposite side of that, I know this isn't the crowd for it, but somehow I heard the lyrics of one of Taylor Swift's new songs.
Somehow.
About it was actually some video was covering it because all the liberal women were turning on her because well, I'll just read the most explicit part where she says she's talking about Travis Kelce's dick in this song. It sounds like the entire time she's basically getting turned into a trad wife in real time.
The cure for feminism is good dick. We've always known that. Like that is, we've always known that. Like every time a feminist gets some good dick. Like do you remember back in the day, Lacey Green? She started dating Chris Reagan. All of a sudden, she started to be like, "Oh, maybe there's both sides." Chris showed her ray gun.
She says, "Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs."
Oh my god!
Girls, I don't need to catch the bouquet to know a hard rock is on the way.
Oh my god!
Like I heard somebody reading that, just like I stood. I'm like,
what the fuck?
Taylor Swift wrote that, the breakup song, girl.
Nah, she's been spending too much time with Sabrina Carpenter. That's what. Because.
And then apparently all the feminists were getting mad because they were like, "What? She's gonna get married?"
I mean, Travis, I mean, I'm sorry, but Travis, I'm kind of in like Travis must have some really good dick game. Like he's got to have like a elephant trunk, and he must know how to use it. I mean, to be fair, he's a quarterback. He's an athlete. The guy has stamina.
Well, he's actually a tight end. But
yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he does have a tight end.
I've been speculating this with my partner about Taylor getting married. It's not really because her album is a happy album, and typically her happy albums aren't that big among Swifties. But you know what's going to go even harder than the Travis relationship album? It's a divorce album. The divorce album is going to do numbers.
No,
that's an elaborate setup.
That's 3 or 4 albums down the road. We're gonna get a marriage album. We're gonna get a baby album.
The baby album.
And then we're gonna get the divorce album.
Well, we could get another one in between there, the open marriage album, where she starts talking about having a few other guys in.
No. It's like Travis goes like, "Honey, why is Taylor Lautner at our door?" He wanted to reenact Twilight New Moon.
Yeah, she's like,
we're gonna go doggy style.
Her lyrics will involve some cuck like James Gunn shit, where she's like, I made him watch while I got it on the couch or something.
Some iDubbbz type.
Okay,
shit.
why the fuck? Okay, so James Gunn creates Homeland, creates the Homeland, Peacemaker, and he has his wife, dating John fucking Cena, and he literally James Gunn writes a scene where his wife is making out, has sex with what the fuck, dude?
In his defense, he did not see John Cena doing that. For anybody who knows wrestling, you can't see him. Anyways, he thought his wife was just masturbating or something,
Oh my god.
James Gunn is a fucking weirdo. He always has been.
I
Like,
mean, yeah,
you
it
see
used to
those
be
old
like
tweets?
You
gross
remember
out
like those
humor
tweets
trauma.
about like the diaper fetish parties he used to do in the 2000s?
Oh God.
Well, that's
I
why
didn't
it's
know
always
about that.
funny when like shills defend him now as like, some like hyper progressive dude. And then it's like, you realize that he's made jokes than all the people that you call like evil alt-right grifters. Like he's made fucking child molestation jokes and shit. Like,
Yeah.
To be fair, I think he's a decent filmmaker. Like I like Superman, I like some of the Guardians and other stuff, but there's lots of people where I like what they do. Like Tom Cruise, I like him as an actor, but I don't want to be in the Rome Alone role. Like I think Kevin Spacey's a good actor, but oh fucking god, that is a guy who not only do I not want to be in the same room with him, I do not want to turn my back to him.
see, Tom Cruise is like entertaining weird to me. I wouldn't really feel in danger with him. I would think he'd maybe say some crazy shit, but he's almost like an asexual being. He's just like, I can't even picture him like getting with a woman even. Like,
Hit you with that Scientology.
he's just
passive
like, you know what
aggressiveness.
we could do instead of this? We could be jumping off a plane into a volcano. Woo! It's like he's the fucking adrenaline junkie.
Yeah, like I swear, Tom Cruise is a guy who's like, you swear right before the camera, it's like, roll the camera, roll the fucking camera, let's go.
I'm gonna run for the next 3 minutes. Tom, that's not in the script. I'm gonna run. Roll the camera. Okay. I think he may murder me if I don't. So we're gonna switch the whole day's schedule, I guess, guys.
Nah,
The
you
man
gotta
broke
respect
his
the-
ankle and finished the shot. Like, holy shit.
Nah, you gotta respect the dedication to the craft. I think I was listening to something the other day, it must have been a short or something, where he kind of gaslit everyone into getting out, making movies again during COVID because of all the slowdown and everything like that. He's very, very dedicated to his craft. And
Yeah, like that rant that, like, honestly, like I'm 100% like, that rant that got leaked out for COVID. Apparently, it was like a very tightrope because this was during COVID, and like everyone needed to be wearing masks. Apparently, not only was someone not like a hairdresser not wearing a mask, but they were like doing stuff. Very like, and it's like it could like that film set could have been shut down at any moment. And Tom Cruise is really like, honestly, I do not blame him for that blow up because like that guy was like walking a really fine line and a lot of stuff was on him. So I am 100%. He was right for doing that. Same thing with like Christian Bale.
My fucking lights. But yeah, and then Cruise, he delayed Top Gun Maverick for a good long time. They kept saying like, oh, we want to release it on streaming because that's what everybody's doing during this whole thing. And he's just like, nah, it's gonna make a lot of money.
He knew it. He knew what he had.
I always make fun of the COVID excuse, like, because people were making it for like Superman and stuff, and I was like, you guys realize like
Superman?
Yeah, the newest one. They were making the excuse like people don't go back to the movies anymore because of post-COVID.
Barbenheimer?
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean you can give a million examples.
see, here's the thing: 2024 and 2025. Like 2025 is the year where movies are starting to come back. Okay, like 2024, we started to see it. What was Barbenheimer 2024?
Yeah, 24.
Yeah.
And then 2025, we have multiple movies that did well. Okay. Like the numbers are starting to go back up. People are starting to go back to the movies again, Like Superman still did 600 million. That's decent numbers.
Yeah. Well, I gave the example because in 2020, in the Demon Slayer movie, which then released in the US in 2021, it made like 400 million or something in Japan.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
And then,
numbers.
And I always give that example because it literally happened when most of the world was still like locked the fuck down. And so
Deadpool and Wolverine did 900.
Yeah.
900 million.
And then whenever the new movie was coming out, I'm like, yeah, you got to watch the whole series to, really get this one. But I'm like, I think it could outdo this and just destroy all these COVID excuses people were just making. And then like it fucking crushed it. And before it even released in China, it had made like 670 million. I'm like, yeah, the $20 million budget anime film just kicked your ass, like, and destroyed all your stupid excuses.
I mean, do you remember when Snow White came out? That Jason Statham film actually outgrossed it. The one that was based off of the novels by Chuck Dixon.
Oh, what Jason? Gosh,
Levon Cade.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a series of novels by Chuck Dixon, the guy, the Batman writer.
Comic book. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome guy. I've talked to him a couple times. but like he wrote Levon Cade novels. They're basically like the Punisher stories he wish he could have done. And so they did a movie off of it with Jason Statham, and it released the same weekend as Snow White, and outgrossed it. Like I just imagine you're Chuck Dixon and you just beat Disney.
Oh, you know what I mean? I had Rachel Zegler on the schedule, and I said, I'm the right man for the job. I'm going to kick their little Latina ass.
Okay. Since this is kind of a
Where
horny
did that
podcast, I'm just
come
gonna say
from?
it. Rachel Zegler, yes, I would. I still would.
Oh, I may make a lot of movies that seem very similar, but I can pretty much film 6 of them at the same time. You know what I mean?
That reminds me.
Fire.
Did you ever see that one community notes where someone posted the scene from Crank where he's having sex with a woman and it's like, this is probably it says this is probably the most unnecessary sex scene in a movie, and the community notes is like, actually, this is probably the most necessary sex
The most
scene
plot relevant one. Yeah.
because he in the movie he needs to keep his adrenaline up, so he has sex with his girlfriend to keep his stuff up. So it's actually like it I love the internet sometimes. I fucking love the internet.
The community
My
notes
girlfriend-
have had some gold ones. Yeah, whether they're just like
Girlfriend says
sarcastic.
That's because Rachel Ziegler's insufferable.
Yeah.
She is one where it's like
I
I
might put
can't
a
even
ball
like
gag in her
fairly.
mouth. I might put a ball gag in her mouth.
I can't even
fun.
fairly judge her looks because it's supposed guys are supposed to be shallow and always only look at looks, but like there is a limit where I'm like you're like
Hot,
really
crazy scale.
bad. Yeah.
See,
like,
is she a very attractive lady? Yes, but her craziness kind of outweighs like, it's like the hot crazy scale. She's a little bit too crazy. Her hotness does not outweigh her craziness.
it lines up directly with the fuck around and find out scale. It's like,
Yeah.
Don't ever stick it in crazy,
Going back to what you said about Demon Slayer, you said that you had to like watch the whole season to understand the movie, or that was the claim, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of how like Halo 5 was with 343, how pretty much you had to read like all these books and all this like and watch this extended media, which ordinarily I wouldn't have a problem with, but like it was like basically I think $80 or like $100 just to get into that like fucking media, because 343 doesn't know how to handle like shit like that.
No.
Was it even worth
But
it?
you know what? I really don't know, but I just remember that I played Halo 5 not understanding how the fuck we even got here. I guess I probably should have finished Halo 4, but that game sucked.
It doesn't like Cortana turn evil or something.
Yeah, it was kind of retarded.
It's like with the Star Wars sequel. Yes, I'm creating a segue for you, Lethal. Like what they did with the Star Wars. It's like, all right, this Captain Phasma person, who the fuck is she? And so like they had like, all right, read the Captain Phasma novel, then you understand who she is or whatever. The Knights of Ren, like there's so much stuff about those movies they don't fucking explain that they just shove to like the books and the comics. You have to read all the shit. Like, I'm sorry, I don't even care enough about the sequel trilogy as it is. I can't be asked to read stuff I don't even fucking care about.
So
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of audiobooks and YouTube stuff during work. I drive multiple hours a day, and then I do a more physical job, so I don't I can listen to something, not use my full brain power for the job all the time. And so I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I used to listen to the Disney Star Wars ones. And now I've read like 4 of the actual EU ones, and I have to tell you, there is a world of difference in the pacing and actually what matters. The Disney ones are so afraid because they want to make shows about everything. They're so afraid to advance the plot in any way that they're basically all filler. And like the Captain Phasma one that he mentioned, it is just like, oh, let's have her go to this Mad Max planet, and I think she might get her armor in it. And there's some random character that never appears in the movies that's like the big tease in it. It's always just teasing the next book or the next.
And like
thing.
Hux appears at the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hux's like dad or something appears. The fat guy from the Empire, and it's just like there were like 9 fucking Thrawn novels and nothing happened in any of this. Just like the Griss are coming. Ooh, the Griss. Oh, we're gonna fight one Griss ship in this trilogy. Oh, we beat it, but there's like a million more Griss guys. They're totally coming. And it's just
that
like
kind of
once you get
reminds
to the
me
fucking
of
point.
the tie-in novel that they did for Jedi Survivor, which was written by Sam Maggs. and is essentially just Marin having a lesbian fling or whatever. That literally, because in Jedi Survivor she gets with Cal, so it just has like it was like, all right, nothing, it doesn't matter, do whatever you want.
There has to be a lesbian quota, because before I stopped reading them, there were so many fucking lesbians in those Disney Star Wars books. It was like you could check mark it. It was like bingo, one a book at least, where it would have a lesbian relationship for one of the main characters. And then what was the oh yeah, there was like a Padme Amidala, like it was Queen's Maid something. It was about like, I think it's the Keira Knightley character was what it was supposed to be about.
Same.
And it's all about like how it basically like heavily hints that like her and Padme had a big lesbo relationship, because she gets all pissed off whenever she starts like getting with Anakin. She's like, oh, he's bad for you, that man. Which, you know, in hindsight, sure, he did end up killing her, but at the time, it was a very lovely relationship. And you
gotta realize Anakin's probably got a pretty good like his he's pretty handy with that lightsaber.
Well,
for Padme to be that loyal, like, oh, Anakin, you slaughtered innocents, that's okay.
And I'm just thinking, like, she was the one that like impersonated Amidala. It's like there could be some confusing scenarios where, you know, he comes home and she's like being the body double, and he's like, oh, Padme, and she's like, I have to go shower. It's just like trying to escape it without revealing her secret that she's not Padme.
Real quick, we got some chats here. Alvelos says, finally actually made it to one. Hello everyone, what's up, Alvelos? Thief Cinder says, where am I at? You are in the dark hole of the internet right now.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking the real Padme walks in and Anakin just goes, you know, this is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
I always like wonder what it's like to date an identical twin. Like, let's say you're dating a girl and she has an identical twin. So you like go in you go in the kitchen, she's there, you grab the ass, and she's like, wrong twin.
It makes family reunions very awkward, especially if they're both married, you know.
or like, let's say, you know,
they have to wear the shirts that are labeled.
The twin comes in and she's kind of wearing your wife's clothes, and like you have sex with the twin, but you think it's the wife, and it gets revealed the wife thinks you cheated. Like, I thought it was you. You like
well, at that
she was
point,
wearing your clothes.
Yeah. That was a big leap in the plot. I would have to ask for that plot point to be explained. Why is she wearing the other person's clothes?
Cannoli, I gotta ask you, because you don't seem to get too much into it on your streams. What is your opinion of like the sequels and Disney Star Wars and all of that?
What is my opinion? I think that I was one of those poor souls that went to watch episode 7 in the theaters and thought, oh wow, this is pretty cool. But that quickly disappeared after I watched episode 8. And I'll be honest, I was very political around the time that it came out, because I was at university. And
I was there too. Yeah.
That, like, if I'm being completely honest, that movie got very heavily politicized. Heavily politicized for one reason or another, right? And I remember having lots of arguments with people about that kind of stuff. And I didn't like it. I thought it was shit. And then episode 9, I went and watched it, and I just thought it was shit. Like, I did it just because it's like, I need to see how bad it's going to be. To this day, I just don't understand how you could fumble the bag this badly. Just think about the amount of money that was wasted. And it's just poor organization that destroyed it.
Like, they should have had J.J. Abrams do all 3. Like,
yeah.
Like if J.J. Abrams had done all 3, they would have been serviceable, average films.
Yeah.
Fan servicey, just safe. Yeah.
Would have been the best thing to do it, because what was the point? Like, think about it. What was the point? What did they accomplish? What did they do? It was a fucking waste. It was so stupid. And
see, like, yeah, and then Last Jedi was kind of where the air was taken out of the room. And the problem is, it's like, I get that Rise of Skywalker was an apology for Last Jedi, but they overcorrected way too much, and it just seems like the film was like more concerned about apologizing for Last Jedi, fixing it, than actually telling a good movie. And also, they had the best line in cinema history. Somehow. Palpatine returned.
Yep. I just don't get it. Like I said, I really don't know what the objective was or what the point was. Like Star Wars is the golden goose. Like surely you could have done anything to just make a little bit of money. Like you didn't have to do anything special. I'm sure. What was it? The Force Awakens probably did some serious numbers.
Two
Some serious
Billy.
numbers, right? Yeah, it's done some serious
Yeah.
numbers. And what did they do? They borderline ripped off A New Hope, right?
No, they literally did. The plot is ripped straight from A New Hope.
Yeah, it's
like the entire
for me.
like trench run at the like it's literally the plot. Like I remember in the theaters watching it for the first time and I caught that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
to
it-
show
The only good thing about that movie is that's not how the Force works. Sorry, girl.
well, to show
Yeah,
the
I mean-
poor leadership of Star Wars, I actually was thinking about this the other day because people were making their box office predictions for like Mando and Grogu, and I was like, just think of where we've come in 10 years. Where if a Star Wars film was releasing 10 years ago, and you said that's not going to make $1 billion, people would laugh at you. Now, if
Yeah.
you think Mando and Grogu is going to make $1 billion, people will laugh at you.
Yeah,
Like it's
700
completely-
million.
it's
That's my
ridiculous.
prediction.
It's
Oh, I
700
think
million.
lower than that. I'm between 400 and 500, to be honest.
yeah,
There
I
is
just can't
some
believe
love
it.
for Mando. There is some love for it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the reason why the Mando film is coming out, and they're still spinning their wheels on the Rey film. I'm sorry, that Rey film is not coming out.
Well,
They've gone through how many directors?
if it had come
This
out
does make
post
sense.
season 2, I would agree with you on the 700. I just think they completely killed all their like series momentum and everything with that season 3.
Oh yeah, the Mando stuff. That's another rant because like Star Wars was dead after Rise of Skywalker, and then the Mandalorian came out, and it felt like just the kind of breath of fresh air we needed. You know, like I
got a little bit
I-
of cheerleader effect too by releasing right around Rise of Skywalker, where I feel like people probably graded it better than maybe if it had released in a vacuum because they were like,
On a
it was
curve.
right in the middle of that
Yeah.
release. They were kind of like, well, this is so shit. At least this looks better.
Yeah,
You
by
know?
comparison, yeah. I
Yeah,
You know what's
the thing is,
scary?
like, season 1, it's like it's had a "we are so back" kind of energy.
Hold still, there's a giant rat on your shoulder.
Oh, sorry. It's my girl Charcoal.
We got some chats. The only good thing is IMO is the name main series. The side ones are better. Thief Cinder says. Then
Yeah, like
Alvilo
a
says
spin-off.
Mandalorian started with a great premise, then shat the bed. Mandalorian was good. Books of Boba was ish, and then crap.
Mm.
I didn't like Books of Boba Fett. I
think
liked
anybody
Andor
did.
season 1. I thought that was cool, but I never saw Andor season 2 because oh my god, the fart sniffers. Like you think like those some other people are insufferable. The talk around Andor, like oh my god, I just it was bad.
What's scary is that people are going to grow up and this is like Star Wars for them, right? Think about when we grew
Mhm.
up and what Star Wars for us. Like for me, it was the prequels, KOTOR, all of that, right? And now when they grow up, this is Star Wars for them. This is the new generation of Star Wars. So
Yeah.
in 20 years' time, they're going to be reminiscing about, hey, remember when The Force Awakens came out? And BB-8
No,
was rolling
no.
across the sand. How
Oh.
cool was that, bro?
No, that's not going to happen. You're talking about the redemption the prequels got. The only reason the prequels got their redemption is because of the sequels.
Because how bad? Yeah, but I'm
Like
talking about 10
it was
years from now,
slowly
everyone
starting to turn. Like I think like in 20 years. But like the thing that really kickstarted the maybe the prequels weren't so bad is the sequels.
Yeah,
I agree.
I have a funny story about this to do with sales. Like, so the Pittsburgh Symphony, it's the nearest major city that I live to, and they always do
sorry.
these. They always do these like playing the symphony in front of the movie kind of shows, and so they do it for the OT, and they do it on a pretty regular schedule actually. Every couple of years they'll run through that, and so those always sell out like right away. Everybody
Mhm.
loves to go see those with the music playing and everything. And they tried it for Force Awakens, and I ignore that email because I'm like, I don't want to see that. I'm certainly not gonna pay $100 for it. And then then I get an email a few weeks later from them where they're like, hey, if you buy some Force Awakens ticket, we'll give you early access to get the seats you want at these future shows. I'm like, It's funny you didn't do that for any of these other ones. These must not be selling very well. It was like,
and
for
then
its
and then
10th
like a week
anniversary.
later, and then like a week later, it's like, the Force Awakens one is canceled.
Yeah.
We're just doing it. We're just doing a new I guarantee you, just doing like Phantom Menace would have sold better than that.
Oh yeah. No, I just had to laugh because I'm like, yeah, even a few years
By the way,
later.
the Phantom
like,
Menace music is probably some of John Williams' best work. I'm just gonna say it.
Duel of the Fates.
I mean, yeah, Duel of Fates is amazing, but like, I think the prequels is some of his best work. But and Phantom Menace in particular the score is just so good.
What was that?
He's always been fire.
What's the one with Anakin versus Obi-Wan? Is it like Battle of Heroes?
Battle of the Heroes. That's
Yeah.
episode 3. Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's theme song in Battlefront 2. We got some.
I hate-
It's like the simulations.
I hate streaming Star Wars games though because you get copyright struck like fuck every
Oh,
second.
God,
you
I
can.
know it.
Oh,
And what's
fuck.
even
Sully
worse
was just
is like,
streaming KOTOR.
don't you just love those Star Wars games where like they open with the crawl and it's an unskippable cutscene, so like you have to
Yeah.
scramble to like mute the stream, and you just know that like, oh, I'm gonna get copyright struck for this. Like
happens.
the 3 seconds of the Star Wars theme.
Don't do it. Don't tempt the wrath of Disney.
Yeah, I am happy that I got to see John Williams a couple times in Pittsburgh. Whenever he was like 88, and I thought this was my last chance, and then whenever he was like 90, and I'm like, this is definitely my last chance.
Yeah, John Williams is definitely the they'll keep hiring you till you're 90.
Yeah, you know, he keeps doing it. I was like, God bless. That was actually the funniest COVID story too, because I saw him in Pittsburgh and he's like very, very elderly. So obviously, if anybody's going to be in danger, it's him. And no, mask requirements or anything. And then a few months later, I go to see a show in DC because I was visiting a friend. And it was literally like, show us the papers. Like you had to show your vaccination card at the door. And then you had to like wear a mask the whole time. And he walks up. I'm like, why is he less safe a few weeks later after the pandemic? It's just because we're in a different city. These people are more infectable. Like I literally just saw this guy and I didn't have any of this shit. These restrictions are such stupidity. And he's clearly not worried about it. He's walking in and out like completely unprotected.
John Williams is like, I'm 90 years old. I have literally done everything I ever want to in life. He is like the epitome of just do not give a fuck. Because like, okay, what's the worst thing happen? I die one of the greatest composers ever.
He's the meme. I guess I'll die.
I've scored literally the greatest movies in existence. My name is going to be remembered for thousands of years. Like there will be people in the 10,000s who will say John Williams is one of the greatest composers ever. So he does not need to worry.
Well, no,
He's got a legacy, yeah.
I'm like, wow, we're like probably about 4 hours difference, and all of a sudden it's somehow a lot more contractable of a disease for some reason. We have completely different rules.
COVID was so fucked up. It was, oh god.
Red Letter Media had a great video on that when they were just like going through all the different restrictions. They're like, but if your business is more than 60,000 square feet and you have more than 6 people, and then eventually, like, I think it's Jay just slowly starts raising the gun to his own head, and then like somebody bursts in the door and like makes him misfire. He's basically going to kill himself.
I got a rant on Red Letter Media because like I think I'm gonna like what this is. They ruined Star Wars prequel discourse for like an entire fucking decade. I don't know how many times I'd be talking about the prequels to somebody in the 2010s, and every conversation would inevitably include, well, Red Letter Media said. Every fucking time. Like, that's a nice opinion. Did the YouTuber give it to you?
Yeah, their Star Wars discourse I've really started to tune out. I like when they talk about Star Trek because they know that series kind of front and back and they're willing to dig into it as a result. But Star Wars, they just seem to have the attitude of like, it was always stupid. A stormtrooper bumped his head, guys, remember? So, you shouldn't insult it at all because it's always stupid. It's like they just don't seem to really value it. They just kind of talk about it because it's the thing to talk about, I feel like. I don't think any of them really have an actual big attachment to Star Wars, or they just are attached to it because it was pew pew lasers and they just like the spectacle. So, because even like the Kenobi show, they were complimenting. They're like, all this stuff was shit, and that's just what Star Wars should be. It's like, okay. Revan Minor.
Sorry guys, I gotta head off, but I just wanted to say thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure to meet you. Good chat, good stuff. Have fun. Maybe we'll do it again sometime soon. But yeah, don't go too crazy, or not. Choice is yours.
Yeah,
But
thanks for
no,
swinging by,
We're gonna
Kamali.
get very crazy just for you.
but no, it was nice to meet you guys. Yeah, and like I said, Phoenix, congratulations on all your comic stuff and your authorship. That's fantastic stuff. I asked Leaf to plug it in my Discord so I can show everyone else. But
Mhm.
yeah, take it easy, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, see you later, man.
Leave the stream. Take the
Bye.
Stay
cannoli.
safe.
Take the cannoli.
I was literally thinking that. I didn't want to be that guy.
I
be
altered
that
it
guy.
a little bit
Do
at least. You got to
Do
modify it.
Love it.
But
Nice one. Be that guy.
speaking of Revan, did you guys like hear about how much of a bullet dodge we had with the KOTOR remake? There's like been some videos about what they wanted to do because originally Sam, I was virtually R-worded in GT Online mags, was the head of it, but eventually she left. The project is technically still happening, but it's like happening as in like we say it's happening, but it was canceled 5 years ago, kind of thing. But, like there's a video detailing like they were gonna like change races of some people, like they were modern day.
Well, it'll come out
I
at the
didn't
same
even hear
time
about
that
that.
Agent from Rockstar comes out, which was totally still in development for many years after 2008. Yeah, no, I've never played a KOTOR, and so I was pretty excited when they announced that because I assumed I'm like, oh, it'll be like the Crash Bandicoot remakes where they just do the exact same game and they just rebuild the graphics from the ground up. And then it sounded more and more like they were going to start modifying stuff. And then I'm like, and I was very happy when this Steam thing console was announced because I'm like, oh, I can finally like play and stream and do all the stuff with KOTOR pretty easily. I can just plug in an HDMI into my TV finally. Because
I'm excited for the Steam machine, but the price is gonna make or break it. If
Yeah.
it's like $400 to $500, good. Anything more than $500 is dead on arrival.
I had a funny story about how I got a Steam Deck because everybody was
I love it.
yeah, everybody was complaining about like, oh, I bought all these games on Steam and it won't let me log in and pre-order this thing. And I'm literally like on a family vacation doing this on my phone, and I'm like, I haven't logged into Steam in about 10 years since I was in college. Let me see if I remember my password. I get the password on the first try. And my username, which I also did not remember. I'm like, was it this? And then I immediately am able to get through and do the pre-order, even though I haven't bought anything since like the Orange Box Mac Edition back in college.
God.
And then I just immediately trolled everybody who was saying that they couldn't order one. I'm just like, I haven't bought shit from them. I don't give them any money, but I was able to get this. And they're like, fuck you. I spent $5,000 on Steam games. Like, yeah, well. Although I did eventually end up selling it because it was just like, even that like people say is like so much more user friendly than most PC gaming. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. It was a little bit clunky. I kept having to download, different controller schemes and stuff for the games, and then like the settings, I would always end up messing up the FPS. I am a complete console peasant. I hate fiddling with anything like that.
Yeah, PC game has been a pain in the fucking ass. Especially streaming older games in particular, because I'm having issues streaming Knights of the Old Republic, so I can't even finish like my playthrough on that.
Here's what I did. Here's what I did. The way I got around that is I emulated the Switch version and streamed that.
Ooh, there you go.
Because the Switch version runs in widescreen, has controller support. It's based off the Android version, but if you're just doing a stream with KOTOR, it's fine. And it's a relatively low impact game, so like most computers can probably emulate it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. I literally played the Switch version.
Yeah,
because the PC version of KOTOR it's ass. It is such ass. No widescreen. Yeah. Like there's mods, but they're so complicated. Like I consider myself a decently okay like PC person. Like I can do some tweaking under the hood. I'm no like connoisseur, but like I can do some stuff. God, it's bad. It is bad. KOTOR 2 though it is best on PC because you get the restored content mod, and also restored content puts it in widescreen. Yeah, because KOTOR 2 was famous for its Rust development, and so they have the restored content mod on the PCs, only on the PC. They were actually going to add it to the Switch version. They were going to add it to the Switch version, but there was some legal stuff, and they couldn't, and so they actually got in some legal hot water for that.
I didn't know about that, but I did know that there was. I didn't know about the legal battles, but I heard about issues with it and stuff.
Yeah, they had to offer like some people like some free games or whatnot. Question, Thief Sender, for KOTOR 1, is it actually fixed? Like, is it in widescreen? Is it easy to work with? You know, because I mean, I know GOD does actually do like some fixes for that. So like, I don't know, maybe.
Ellen was telling me that the GOG version of KOTOR was easier to run. Then he else says it doesn't want to emulate because PC has mods and stuff. Yeah, that's the main reason why I want to play it on PC. I guess I'll try because I have the GOG version, luckily. So
you can try. If not, just emulate it. If not, just emulate it.
Yeah, but no mods.
I mean, like, not play KOTOR at all, or play it without mods.
I don't know. I was thinking about just going, turning it into a Let's Play, but we'll see how that goes. So widescreen is third part as of old.
Yeah, my computer's pretty much pushed to the limit by running Streamlabs and Chrome at the same time at this point. So I'm like, I can't actually also play the game on it. I have to fucking stream the PS5.
I actually was running into an issue where like I streamed through OBS and like games would run fine, and then when I try to stream the performance would tank. So I actually had to go into OBS and like tweak the settings and like pare shit down. So like it was only taking at most 1.5% of CPU. I think before it was like maybe 5-10 higher. So now games run beautifully. Like I was streaming Cyberpunk on the other day, and I was getting like 70, 80 frames per second while streaming, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, mine's a 2020 MacBook quote unquote Pro, and I got it as a gift, so I'm never going to complain about it. But it does only have 8 gigabytes of RAM, and so which is like less than the PlayStation 5, which cost a fraction of this thing, had 16 gigabytes. So it felt like a little bit of BS. It's coming out the same year. They both came out 2020 is why I make that comparison.
Mine's a Gigabyte G5. I think I got it like 2022. I got it with like one of the rebates with the Biden bucks or whatever. It's got a 3060 mobile like laptop GPU. It's pretty decent.
I'm just picturing a dollar bill with like Biden on. He's just doing his creepy like 1,000-yard stare smile. He's like,
I'm trying to sniff somebody.
Yeah, it's just he's just coming at you with the shoulder rub.
You know Biden has some stories that are being kept under wraps. You know it.
They can make a horror movie out of that guy, like the White House sniffer. It's just like I can picture the trailer.
Do you remember when the White House tried to make Dark Brandon like they tried to force that meme?
Oh yeah, I remember that during the some of like the it was like before he dropped out. Basically, they were trying to make him cool, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
There's this.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say real quick. There's this one user who put I think their username was on Reddit, President Joe Biden, and it says, "I like to touch kids, and my son smokes crack."
I bet that account did not last long.
I love how like they found like cocaine in the White House. Like, we don't know who's in it. Like the White House, literally one of the most secure buildings on the planet. There's literally a camera in every urinal. Like there's footage on the White House servers of Hillary Clinton's butthole. Somebody has had to watch Hillary Clinton poop.
Do they have to watch it, or do they get off on that? Anyways,
if it's the latter, I weep for the species. But no, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's cameras literally up every butt crack. And
Now,
you're telling me they don't know whose cocaine it is.
gentlemen, I'm gonna need you to delete all the photos of my wife's penis, effective immediately. This is my final executive order, and then I'm gonna leave.
Well, we all know Obama likes succulent hot dogs.
Oh God.
Say that to me when I'm taking a drink.
Did you know that Obama actually did have a turn in Hollywood? He was one of the bobsled crew in Cool Runnings.
I thought you were gonna talk about like his I think it was called South Side with You, all about the how he met Michelle and stuff. It was some Netflix movie or something, and then he's produced like a few of them.
Ryan Gosling is Obama.
No. Ryan Gosling is Black Panther.
Just I always give the example. It was funny whenever I watched Lawrence of Arabia the first time. I did it in theaters because it was for some anniversary of it. And what's his face? Alec Guinness plays like a Muslim guy in that. And I legit did not know it was a white dude until the end of the movie. I'm like, well, they did a good job with the makeup. I know it's like brown face.
Maybe like the people.
Great role.
I mean, the people who did that, the Bond crew should have hired them for Connery.
Oh, for whenever he's in like China or Japan or whatever in the back.
Yeah, the yellow face, like he's a Japanese person.
He's like, oh, hello, my fellow Japanese gentlemen.
Did you ever see the movie about Genghis Khan where they had John Wayne play Genghis Khan?
Yeah, that was the one where everybody got like radiation poisoning. The Conqueror or something. Yeah. And he's just like, hello there, pilgrim. I'm the Mongolian conqueror. It's just like, are you really? I don't think you are.
Press X to down.
It's like, as you can see, I have many ninja and samurai skills. I'm an East Asian expert. He goes and plays like a fucking anime character. He's like, Konnichiwa.
That reminds me, like, the discourse of like AC Shadows was so fucking hilarious because like Yasuke was at best he carried the swords. Like, he wasn't like some noble warrior. He was like a joke. He was basically, I'm gonna be a little bit racist here. He was basically Nobunaga's dancing monkey.
Yeah, he was like a show. Like, he showed like, look at this weird human that I have. He looks so different, guys. Yeah, he like had him in a cage and shit. Like, yeah, it was not a good situation for Yasuke to be in.
I mean,
there.
Didn't you know that like Yasuke would go through Shinto temples, massacre them while hip hop music somehow played in the background in 15th century Japan?
Oh,
like, Ubisoft puts out like the most culturally insensitive game they can think of, and they wonder why it sold poorly.
Darn, I'm not gonna be able to find the clip. I know I clipped out whenever that first kicked in.
Remember, like, I think there's I think there was like watermelons somewhere. Like like there's somehow you can actually like destroy watermelons when like in fact watermelons were not introduced to Japan until like hundreds of years later or something. So they specifically put watermelons in a game with a black samurai. Ubisoft, I know you're French, but can you please stop being French for just 5 minutes, please?
Yeah, the French.
And by French, I mean horribly racist.
The Ellen, here comes Ellen. He says they gave him a bath for like 2 days trying to get the stain off before realizing it would come off. Yeah, they were like in awe of a black person whenever he first came.
And the Ubisoft source was a guy who was known fraudster who basically wrote historical fan fiction to the point where like Japan, like it was like the Japanese diet, was like Ubisoft, you done fucked up. Like, oh god, it was such a shit show.
Did y'all know about the Englishman that became a samurai?
Oh, you mean like the plot of Shogun?
Hmm.
You know the Shogun, you know, like the miniseries for
Yeah, yeah, no, I know the show
Oh
you're
yeah,
talking
I
about.
didn't watch it.
Trying to think of the
I
historical
think that the book was like loosely based off the story.
Yeah, actually, I watched the first episode of Shogun. I never really got super into it. And by bath, it was constant hard scrubbing till Nobunaga was shirtless and paid.
Joke's on you, Yasuke was into that shit.
Trying to see, was it William Adams that was in the show, or the character's
Yeah.
name, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Shogun series. The one recent one is a remake of the one from the 80s. Something Blackthorn. It was like that's a character's name.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. It's been a while. I don't really watch TV these days because I don't know. I feel like TV's kind of gone down the shitter. They kind of had this like golden age with a lot of the crime dramas, especially. Like you had Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy, Dexter, and then even in terms of just TV in general, Walking Dead, and
Game
all
of
of that.
Thrones, early
Game of
seasons.
Thrones. Yeah, they were just hitting out the park for a while, and now we
Yeah,
kind of just got into this.
that era will be known as like the golden age of Hollywood. I would classify it from like 2008 to like maybe 2015 at the latest.
Yeah.
Hmm.
John
Yeah,
Blackthorn.
favorite
That's
era TV.
the name of the character. That's the name of the character from the show.
Yeah, that's right.
How ironic. Blackthorn is a white guy. Anyways.
Ironic.
Ironic.
But yeah, then it turned into like, oh, Disney was actually kind of good for a minute. I love Punisher and Daredevil. I need to watch that new season.
That wasn't Disney though. That wasn't Disney. That was
That
Netflix.
is true. That's
Okay,
very true.
Perlmutter, right?
No, yeah, that was Ike Perlmutter and what's his name? The guy who did Long Halloween, Jeff Loeb. Because basically for the longest time, Ike Perlmutter had control of the comics and the TV side. Like that's why you would never see like them reference in the movies. But like you could have Agents of Shield use Judas bullets, stuff from Luke Cage because they could reference that. Yeah,
it would only ever
Sorry.
ever like stay in TV to the other TV things, or like they would take stuff from the movies. Like I remember Agents of Shield did like the Winter Soldier crossover. That was probably their best stretch. Whenever they had the Hydra reveal, and they were obviously working in Shield, and so it became like this big reveal in the show. They were like, "Oh shit, all of our friends are enemies."
or like apparently they were the ones responsible for finding the last Hydra place, the lead up to Age of Ultron. Like it was always downstream. Like they always tied in with stuff. It was always downstream.
Yeah, because they got the helicarrier before Age of Ultron that Nick Fury shows up with, like the old one.
Yeah, and then like later on in the series, they kind of went wild, like Ghost Rider in the series. That was wild.
Oh yeah, it was not Johnny Blaze though. It was like a different. It was the
Robbie
Hispanic.
Reyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently speaking of Disney.
Go.
Oh, you go and
No, you go.
Oh, I was going to shift topics a little bit. With Disney, they are. Let me. I'm trying to find it in my fucking notes.
It's okay.
Yeah. So basically, they're going to allow people that are subscribed to all their platforms make their own AI shorts because they are so bad at making their own fucking content.
That is going to blow up in their face in like 2 minutes.
It's just going to become even more sludgy than it is now. Like there's going to be no differentiation, and then everybody will stop paying for it.
Do you remember the AI Darth Vader Fortnite? Like, do you remember they got Darth Vader to say the N-word?
Oh yeah, he started basically like going against his creators.
They got him to rate colors like brown, the color of mud. Like, like they got Vader to say the N-word. Like it was so bad.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna put like limitations on it, kind of like how
it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Oh, really?
People will find a way around it.
That is true.
I just love where we draw the line. It's like, well, Vader, he may have murdered children, but he can't say the N-word. It's like, now we don't like him. It's like, you probably shouldn't have liked him before.
I mean,
Kinda like whenever,
genocide is one thing, but killing a puppy, oh, that's a little bit too much.
yeah, it's like I remember whenever X-Men Apocalypse had a quote unquote controversy where they were like, "Oh, on the poster, Apocalypse is choking Mystique." I'm like,
He's a
yeah,
villain.
yeah. I'm like,
He's a villain.
yeah. What's the issue
a villain
here?
is doing a villainous thing, and somehow that's controversial.
It's like, yeah, bad people do bad things, and you're not encouraging them by showing it. You're saying it's bad to do that because that's why they're the villain.
It's like, all right, okay. We really want this audience to hate a character. What we can do? Have them kick a puppy. And the thing is, it's such a cliche that it's just become a joke at this point. You know, like I'm evil. You can torture this woman all you want. I'm about to R-word her, but kill a dog? No, I'm not. I'm not a monster. By the way, that's Kick-Ass 2. That's a moment from Kick-Ass 2.
Ellen was telling me that like these soy boys try to like write what's it called, like try to make shit more woke, but then they make the villains more sympathetic.
Oh yeah, that's the U.S. agent, you know, Falcon Winter Soldier, Wyatt Russell's character. You know, because like he's supposed to be this villain, but he's actually like, if you actually look at it, you know, because like there's the moment where like I actually watched this video of it by U.S. military personnel who going over like rules of engagement. You know, he's like, okay, yeah, he's probably operating under rules of engagement, and obviously he made some assumptions, but like he said, like the guy's surrendering, but he's already attacked before, so like there's reason to believe the surrender could be a fake surrender. So
yeah,
but by subjective by subjective opinion, I'm not saying it's objective, but by reasonable, it's reasonable to assume that he was fully in the right to execute him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he just killed his best friend. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, because the show is playing the sad music and like the
camera angles, like,
well,
oh god, there's blood on the shield.
Yeah, and all the stupid shills were just like, whoa, he crossed the line. I'm like, you guys do realize, like, when Captain America drop kicks a guy in Winter Soldier and he slams into the rail of the boat and goes flipping over into the ocean, like, he's probably dead. Like,
or like also Winter Soldier, when he throws the shield and the chopper goes down, that pilot's probably dead.
Yeah. So it's like it's not like there's a no kill rule with Captain America. And then this guy is a terrorist who is like you said, just killed like a US agent, not
and
the
like,
US agent.
And was already trying to kill them. Like there's scenes like with a knife, like there's already murderous intent. And like the way that he was like throwing stuff at him was very careless. Like he was trying to kill him throughout that chase. And like civilians were in danger. So it's, in my opinion, it's a reasonable argument to say he was fully justified in his actions.
Yep. And then I just remember Sam and Bucky were just complete dicks to those two the entire series, even leading up to that. Where
like was he a bit of an arrogant douche? Yes, but he was trying to work with them. He was trying to be reasonable the entire time. He bailed them out of jail. He got them out of jail, guys. You know.
Yeah, he literally like saved their lives the one time. Whenever they started fighting all the super soldiers, and then he like came in as the cavalry, and like they made like multiple like life-saving moves. And then afterwards, he's like, "Hey man, I'd really like to work with you." Like he's trying to like be nice to Sam and everything, but he said like one wrong thing. I forget what it was, but then Sam's like, "It's always that ending." It's like, "Oh fuck you, Sam!" Like guy can't say one wrong syllable to you, or you just assume that he's evil and racist. Like
how is he racist? His best friend's literally in black. No. They're on the truck, and he says his name is Battlestar, and that is so offensive to Bucky. Bucky, the Winter Soldier, he's literally right next to a guy named Falcon. You know, it's like like stop the car. Like it's so offensive. His name is Battlestar.
I actually remember the
Like
phrase
if his name was like Chicken Kicker, I could maybe undersee it. You know, if his name was like Watermelon Smasher,
that would just
I'm just
make
being fucking racist here. I'm sorry.
well, that would just make me ask, well, how did you arrive at that name? You know, but I do remember the name I do remember what triggers Sam that makes him completely cut off all communication. He just says, I could really use a wingman, basically, or something to that effect. He calls him wingman. And it's like, hello, Sam, you're the Falcon. People are gonna make bird puns about you. Like, come on. Like, and he's just like, ugh, always that last thing. It's like everybody calls you wing. Like, what are you talking about? It's
yeah.
not even an insult.
Oh gosh.
Just played too much Fable in your chicken kicker.
One fucking like John
Chicken
Roken, everybody.
chaser.
John
Chicken
Roken, everybody
chaser.
afterwards, just like, oh, yep, that was a dog whistle. He's a complete racist. Just like,
I will say
really,
this though.
really.
Have you guys seen Thunderbolts?
I have, yeah.
I really like that movie. In fact, they do U.S. Agent really well in that one. I think it's a real. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I saw what they were going for. I wasn't like overly crazy hating it, but I was also like, it was kind of a nothing burger for me. It was kind of in one ear and out the other for me. I didn't really have any strong. I was a filthy neutral from Futurama with it, where I'm like, I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
To me, it's like there has been so much Marvel media that's been like cotton candy. It's like it looks cool, it tastes sweet, but it's ultimately nothing. This was the first film in a long time that was trying to say something. It had themes. It had like a message, like mental health. You know, as a person who has mental health problem myself, it resonated with me. Like this is the first film that was trying to like. The only one that even came close was Black Widow, because Black Widow was trying to like do something about like sex trafficking and whatnot. You know, like I actually think Black Widow was a decent movie.
Well, I'll probably catch some shit for this, but I feel like, and this is a very specific type of mental health thing where it's more of a PTSD focus. But I think Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man 3 actually did the best job out of the MCU of like portraying trauma and kind of PTSD. Where
I actually agree with you.
He's having his panic attacks. Yeah. And that was my favorite portrayal probably of that sort of subject matter in the MCU.
To me, Sentry was kind of like a showcasing of bipolar, manic depressive. I mean, I'm bipolar myself, so it's like, you know, like there's a line where he's like, some days I feel amazing, like I can conquer the world, and some days I feel bad, or you know, whatever. And to me, the Sentry is kind of like a visualization of bipolar disorder. Like when you're manic, it's like, I'm a bit manic right now, so that's kind of helping. But like you think you could literally conquer the world, but then you just go down, and it's like,
yeah.
So to me, Sentry is kind of representation of like bipolar, and that's at least my interpretation of it.
Well, my main thing with that movie is that it relied on a lot of the shows and some previous movies that I just had no emotional connection to at all to establish all those characters and make me care about them.
Had that problem.
Yeah, and I was just like, I get your little ragtag crew. I sort of like U.S. Agent, even though that show didn't want me to, the show that he initially debuted in. But like, a lot of people ended up liking him, it seemed like. And but like Ghost and even Yelena, I didn't feel.
I love Yelena. Like I love that character.
Yeah, I feel like she's undercut a lot for me. People always talk about like how they can't get into Ragnarok. I completely understand it with Love and Thunder because I think that movie is severely more idiotic.
Ragnarok. I like Ragnarok.
No, I like Ragnarok. I
like Ragnarok too.
People try to lump together like Ragnarok and Love and Thunder, and I'm like, no. Love and Thunder is Taika Waititi unhinged. I feel like Ragnarok was Taika Waititi with some guardrails on him where he didn't get off the tracks with it. And I feel like by Love and Thunder he did, and that movie's crap.
See, the thing is, like, Chris Hemsworth is a naturally funny guy. Okay. Like, I actually think some of his talents are wasted in some of the more serious Thor. I will say I do think time has been kind to Dark World. I think Dark World has kind of gotten better with age, but like with Ragnarok, Chris Hemsworth's allowed to be a little bit jokey. One of my favorites, like, so I have this hammer and I used it. It pulled me off, and it's like, your hammer pulled you off? Like, how the fuck did they get away with that in a Marvel movie? How the fuck did they get away with that?
And Jeff Goldblum, I mean, he's like, whenever he's like, I'll show you, and he goes to like break out, and he's like, oh, what's that? You got a little sparkly fingers. That's nice. Oh. And then one thing it doesn't get a lot of credit for that I really love in Ragnarok is the action core, the like scenes. I feel like it does a really good job of building up like this is coming from the anime guy because it's like whenever Thor went like lightning crazy in the arena and got his big power up, I was like, this made me believe that like Super Saiyan 2 could be portrayed on screen because that looked fucking badass whenever he did his big,
Yeah,
and the way that they did it where they're cutting out all the sound and he's getting pounded into the ground
and
by
the
Hulk.
use of music. I mean,
Yeah, and it's just and it gets to be where it's just like thump thump.
that
and then
one,
he's-
like that one shot where he's like leaping in, you start to see and like the
Yeah.
lightning. And but the thing is, I will forever defend Ragnarok for one shot.
Hmm.
You had Carl Urban in the movie as Scourge, and he had dual AKs. And there's a single 3-second shot. He's on a pile of bones doing this, recreating the Doom cover. Like, no, it is legit. He's doing like shooting down or whatever. And it
What's
Carl Urban, the Doom guy from Doom, doing the Doom, like that alone, I will forever defend the movie just for that one half-second shot.
what's him? He calls the guns something in the beginning. He's showing them to the
No,
girls.
he calls them Death and Destroy.
Yeah,
When you put them together.
it. That's it.
And my favorite, one of my favorite lines is, "Oh, let me show you what I got from the great realm of Texas."
Texas.
Every Texas, I guarantee, every showing in Texas is like, yeah.
You guys ever see Hell or High Water?
No.
Oh,
I've
it's a
not.
great Sheridan who writes fucking Landman, Yellowstone, all the basically popular shows the last few years.
Tyler Sheridan, you'll never
yeah.
find a man with his head so far up his ass.
But he wrote kind of a trilogy of films. It's kind of what got on Sicario, Wind River, and Hell or High Water, and they're
Sicario's
all
really good.
yeah. Well, they're all really fantastic. I agree with you. Actually, I think Sicario is my favorite out of them. But that was like back to back. It's like Sicario was like 2015, then Wind River was like 2017, and then Hell or High Water I think was 2019.
I like Sicario because it has a very honest depiction of the border.
And a great rollout for a mystery character. Probably one of the best ever. When they show him, Benicio del Toro's character, they sort of show him in the
Benicio del Toro is
background.
the secret protagonist of the movie.
Well, yeah, and they do a great like slow rollout of like you show him in the background of the first meeting, and then you sort of get a little taste of him in the interrogation. He doesn't say a whole lot, and slowly, what's her face? Who's the actress's name?
Emily Blunt.
Kate is their name. Emily Blunt, right? And she's kind of slowly asking questions about him, and it just does a great slow roll reveal until you get him at the end, and it just hits you. It's like this has been so well set up, and yet so minimally set up. Like it's so perfect.
Can I just say, I wish we could see more Emily Blunt action films because she's a fucking amazing action star.
Yeah,
like,
Edge of
why
Tomorrow.
did she, what?
Mm.
Oh, yeah, like that one shot of her going like that one shot basically made her career like. And also the fact that Edge of Tomorrow is technically an anime movie.
Oh yeah, because it was
it's an
all
anime
you need
movie.
is kill, right? Is the manga?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably the best anime movie, but it's
I mean, there's no Alita Battle Angel, but still.
no, that's true. Well, in Hell or High Water, though, the Texas thing made me think about it because it's all about these two brothers in Texas. I always think of the Rick and Morty sketch whenever I say that. Two brothers, and they're doing things, and two brothers, they're two brothers. But no, it's Chris Pine and I think it's Ben something is the other. Ben Foster is the other actor. So they're playing the two brothers, and they're basically like robbing banks to try and like the bank screwed over their mom out of her land essentially. But anyways, the one scene they get like there's basically like a citizen patrol that comes after them after they rob the one bank, and all these Texans pull out their fucking like 6 shooters and like, all these guns and just start firing.
Why the fuck would anybody rob a store in Texas? It's like here, open up the cash. Literally, like there's 5 people in the store. Everyone draws their guns and points at and it's because like they've all been waiting for this one moment.
It is kind of funny though now with all the I don't know if are you guys familiar with John Roca, the Disney shill?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Yeah, well, former Collider, he's the outlaw. He wears a cowboy hat.
Oh, John Campia.
He's
No, John Campea is very different. John Campea is like a Canadian. John Roca is technically Hispanic, although he looks white. But
He's
he's
white passing, as he says.
yeah. Well, he he is literally a dead ringer for the partner of Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges is a Texas Ranger, I believe, in that film. And he's got his partner that he goes around with, and the guy literally looks like modern John Roca because he was a little bit older than him whenever the movie came out. But and it's just hilarious watching that movie. I always think I'm like it's a disservice to this actor because the actor's really good and John Roca's a fucking idiot. But but yeah, no, it's a really good. That one's really awesome. All three of those movies. Yeah, Wind River is like Elizabeth Olsen in a more serious role. It's a good palate cleanser if you've watched Multiverse of Madness, and unfortunately, and but you know she does a great job in that. She's I forget what organization, but basically they're in Wyoming, like investigating these killings around like Native American like what's it called, reservations. And so you know she's got to deal with the politics of that and who has authority where and everything. And her trying to remember who she's partnered with in that movie, but yeah, she's really good in the role.
There's this one clip I saw that she was in where she's like, "You're Catholic, but you fuck me like a common whore." Yeah. She's saying that kind of stuff. I'm like, whoa, Wanda, calm down. You know.
Well, I saw her in the Old Boy remake. That's whenever she had her nude scene with Thanos. Josh Brolin was in that movie in like 2012 or something.
I was thinking of like crossovers. You do realize Ragnarok is a mini Lord of the Rings reunion, right? Kara Urban was one of the writers of Rohan.
Eomer.
And then Hela, you know, was
yes. Yeah. I don't think those two ever met in the movies, but yeah, I suppose it's a reunion of the cast at least.
Also, she was a great Hela. I think she was great in her role.
Oh yeah. I just love whenever they kill off all the Warriors 3 and like everybody from the first two movies in like one scene. She just like decimates everything.
Also, Surtur in that movie is voiced by Clancy Brown.
Mr. Krabs.
He's Kurgan, you uncultured swine.
He pops out at the end. He's just like, I like money. He's like wrecking Asgard. He's just like,
I swear, like Clancy Brown has had like such a wide, varied career.
His Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor. He was in John Wick. You know,
or
obviously
Daredevil as well.
Daredevil. You know, Punisher stuff. He
like,
was Kurgan.
Detroit.
Oh yeah, he's the cop partner of the robot in Detroit. Yeah. And then in Star Wars, in live action Star Wars now, he's played two separate roles. He played like the little devil looking guy in the one Mando season, and then he was his Rebels role in live action in fucking Ahsoka, unfortunately. Yes, Ahsoka, the show with the most dead air in the history of man. Hello.
See, everyone who like goes on and on about how Filoni is like the heir apparent to George Lucas.
Yeah, hell no.
No, like there was a time where I might have believed that, but like the guy's like you could tell the moment Filoni had control of Mandalorian because like season 1 was Jon Favreau's baby. Season 2, you can tell there was a fight for control. And then season 3 is a Bo-Katan show under a different name. No, that's like my one, like season 3 of Mandalorian. If they just would have called it Bo-Katan, I would not have had as much of a problem with it. But because Bo-Katan is the protagonist of the season, and here's the thing, I like Bo-Katan. I love Katie Sackhoff. She can sit on my face. No, because like I'm a Battlestar Galactica fan and I love her Starbucks. So like I'm a huge Katie Sackhoff fan, and she's playing her role from like Rebels or something. And I love Katie Sackhoff. So it's like, oh,
like traumatizing for her or something. She said like how much she hated it recently, like playing that in that season. She was like, I hated playing the live action version, basically. Like I forget. Like, hang on, I gotta
I
find the
think
actual
it's I think it's
quote.
code speak for like she had a bad experience with like the director. Like the director
Oh,
might not
yeah.
have been giving her enough and kind of thing.
Um,
Because Katie Sackhoff's a good actress. Like she's basically kind of got like this limited like action girl range. But she's very good within her pocket.
So she said, now this is an AI overview, so take that for what it's worth. But so I'm trying to get the quick summary. But she has been open about the experience having a negative impact on her confidence because she struggled to connect with her character. This challenge led to a period of doubt, and she has stated that she didn't understand her character on a deep intuitive level, which was a significant departure from her usual acting process. So yeah, it's basically the direction and everything. It sounds like she didn't like probably Filoni and them are not really great at directing live action, and so she had really
What she
trouble
needs to
getting into
do
the role.
is she needs to be like Mark Hamill, where you can, like, and I quote, fundamentally disagree with everything in the script. That is a direct Mark Hamill quote. Fundamentally disagree with it. Hate the movie with a fiery passion, but you let your love for money and fame override any moral quality. Because like remember like for a good solid 2 years he was shitting on that movie until Disney told him to shut the fuck up. Because there was kind of this like you could tell the moment Disney told him to shut the fuck up because he all of a sudden he just stopped shitting on the movie.
You know how normally you say, "Oh, they backed up a Brinks truck onto his lawn or whatever," to convince him. With them,
Yeah.
I think they just like backed up a giant bottle of booze, and he was just like,
Oh, well, maybe it's not so bad.
Disney's like Mark, I just have this one checkbox that's using AI bot to suppress a story where you force your daughter to get an abortion. I literally have this checkbox literally open on my desk right now, and if you don't shut up, I will uncheck that box, and the bots will stop suppressing that.
it sucks because I loved Mark obviously for Star Wars, everybody loves
By the
him.
way, yes, that situation actually did happen.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Well, anybody who there's enough material on, it's like, yeah, you got the AI threat now because it's like,
I mean, what do you think? Okay, this is gonna be a hot water thing.
Uh-oh.
What do you think the Epstein stuff was? It was a giant honeypot operation.
to just get dirt.
I'm not gonna go as far to say who it is because that part I'm brave, but I'm not that brave.
Yeah, no, but like with Hamill, it's like I used to sing his praises as far as like voice acting and everything because everybody knows him from the Joker. It's like, oh, he's masterful as the Joker. But every fucking voice acting role I've heard him in since then, I'm just like, you're either doing the Joker or I really don't like it. Like the Child's Play remake, whenever he's just like, and it's
like
partially
basically his thing is, like he does like variations of the Joker. Like for example, his Fire Lord Ozai is the Joker, but like down 2 notches.
Yeah, that's true. That's another good one that he
One
did.
thing I did enjoy is when he showed up in Kingsman, because in the comic they kidnapped Mark Hamill. So in the movie, they kidnapped the professor, played by Mark Hamill. But he's using his Joker voice in the movie. I thought that was
well, and that's like a little short cameo, where he gets like killed off pretty quick, right? As far as I recall.
Yeah, but he's using his Joker voice as like a normal speaking. Like I just thought it was neat.
No, in most things he's better as like a spice rather than the main course. Because like in like stuff like the Child's Play remake, where like I don't know, he just had very limited weird and whatever.
And the thing is, we know he can do good. Because he's played Wolverine a couple times, and I think he did a good job. Like I think he played in some of like the video games, like some of the, like from the 2000s. And he's done other voice acting roles where he's actually legit not doing his Joker voice. But it just seems like anytime there's like, all right, we need you to be menacing, we need you to be evil, he just instantly goes to like a variation of his Joker voice.
Ooh, I'm Skeletor here.
It's just like, no, you're not Skeletor. That's just Joker. He's like,
oh, I'm gonna get you, Pepsi.
Well, his Skeletor is basically Joker with like a bit more growl.
Yeah,
basically, Mark Hamill in his head has like a slider, and it's just like how much growl he adds to the Joker voice. Like I think your punishment should be swift and severe. Yeah, it's like, or like how much he lets his vowels slide, because that's like the Joker, like, oh, Harley. He kind of lets certain letters like slide and hang.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna Harley, like that kind of thing.
He had oh gosh, I still remember whenever Arkham Asylum came out, and it was so fucking hype getting Conroy and him back into the roles.
And Sorkin.
Oh yeah,
because she was there for the first game. I'm sorry, gotta give respect to her.
Absolutely. No, it's and very distinctive. In all three of them, it just nailed it. And then yeah,
Kevin Conroy never Kevin Conroy had one voice, his Batman voice, but oh my god, was like Kevin Conroy was like Peter Cullen. The dude, they got one voice, but it's a fucking amazing voice.
Hey, wait a minute, doesn't Peter Cullen do like Eeyore or something too?
You might be right.
I think he has. I think he might have two voices.
He has two.
I forget, like somebody, I didn't know that until like somebody asked him a question at a convention where they where they pick their two most famous roles and they have them like conversate with each other. Like they did it with Mark Hamill where they were like,
it's like Tara Strong. Tara Strong has Tara Strong has two voices, Bubbles and Batgirl. Because like if you're watching like the Teen Titans behind the scenes, basically her Raven voice is like a variation of her Batgirl voice. Because like Tara Strong has like either, I'm sorry, I'm a guy, I can't do it, but like really, really high register, or just like
Mr. J.
or she does like the dark kind of stuff. So she has two voices.
Yeah, the Bubbles is way too high pitched to even attempt. That's a crazy one, and a lot of times like they'll get women to do like the young men in anime where they do like the scratchy voice before the balls drop. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because men can't do it because when we go through puberty, our when our balls drop, so do our vocal cords.
Yeah, there's the reason it's the boys' choir that they do with the super high pitched stuff. It's not the men's.
Yeah, yeah. It's why like you'll see like a male soprano. It's like, all right, we got to get as much work with him as we can before his balls drop. And I would hate to be that kid knowing you're getting so much work. Like, imagine you're like
I'm gonna peak at 13. Yeah.
Or like, just imagine you're like mid recording session, your voice like cracks mid recording session, and then and it's like the silence, like, oh, it's over. Like maybe you can finish the session, but like word's gonna get out. Like, okay, he finished the session and the rest of it was great, but who knows how long he's got? Like in 6 months, his voice is in his voice. 6 months later, hi. It is so weird. I remember as a kid, I actually used to be able to track how much my voice is deepening because like I used to like doing Pokemon impressions. So like I do like the Togepi voice, like Toki, kind of thing. And like I used to actually be able to do like the full thing, but then I could like every time sometimes when I do it, I could hear myself getting less and less able to do it. So like I was able to okay, it's here.
Well, then there's fucking Dan Green, who I'm pretty sure did the voice of both Yugi and Yami in Yu-Gi-Oh! And he was like, he'd be like, "Oh, Pharaoh, we need to defeat Pegasus to get our grandpa back." And then he's like, same scene, he's like, "I know, Yugi, we're going to do it. It's time to duel." And it's just like, how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah, boys are always. It's like Seth MacFarlane. It's like half the episode is him just talking to himself.
Oh yeah, his
like,
regular voice is his Brian voice. Like that's his normal kind of voice.
It's always weird because like there's so many like Brian and Stewie scenes, and it's just him just talking to each other.
I always think it's funny in like the South Park guys. I've watched some of their live action stuff, and they'll sometimes descend into the Cartman voice whenever, like at the end of Basketball, they totally do like. It's just like,
oh gosh! Every kid in the late '90s had their Cartman impression. It's McMath, goddamn it, I kick your ass.
One of my favorite convention things is just whenever like Dan Green was talking about like he's like, well, I don't just do the Yami voice like all the time. He's like, it doesn't really work in everyday situations. He's like, I'm going to do my laundry. Can you have some change? He's saying like mundane shit in his epic voice.
One of my other things is when you get a bunch of voice actors and Rob Paulson's talking tunes. There's one where they read like the final speech from Dark Knight with like Gordon and Batman, and Rob Paulson is doing his Pinky voice, and then you have Kevin Conroy reading Bale's lines as Batman. It's kind of, or there's like the series of panels where they read Star Wars, and it's like a bunch of voice actors. You have not lived until you've had Bubble say, Commander, I want you to find me those plans and find me the princess. I want her alive. And off to the side, it's just like Kevin Conroy's doing the narration because like he's got one voice. It's a good voice though. Oh gosh. So anyway, I have this comic called Screecher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how'd that do?
Really fucking awesome.
Hey, you got it fully funded?
Yep, and then some. We reached our first stretch goal for the holographic trading cards.
Ooh, just like Charizard.
Except, okay. A quick aside before I like chilling. Like, it's really weird that like Pokemon cards got popular again because like in the 2010s they were fucking worthless. Like I remember, going into my local game store in like 2016. And they had a holographic Charizard for like $20,
Yeah.
And like people would come in with their Pokemon cards and they'd literally get laughed out of the store. They were so worthless in the 2010s that like card shops weren't even stocking them. Like they literally laughed at you. Like, ha ha ha, you found your shoebox full of cards. You think they're, ha ha, here, look,
Yep.
Whatever.
The same thing happened with games where it was like in the late 90s, early 2000s, like NES, SNES games. They were in like the bargain bin at GameStop. It was like $5 max,
or you
whatever.
Go to Funko Land.
Yeah.
You could buy like, like literally you could wallpaper a room with the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. And it's like if just go into a Funko Land and say, hi, I'd like every copy of Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. I'm gonna wallpaper mine and like they just have like there's like the best, like their eyes go like, this is the best day ever. And like there's like they have tons of them and like just take them for free.
Well, and even like PS2 games and stuff, I've started to buy them a shit ton anytime I find them at cons or anytime I find them in good condition on eBay or anything.
They only just started going up though, because like even in the 2010s,
Yeah.
like Xbox games are starting to be expensive. Like in the 2010s, like GameCube games were a little bit pricey in the 2010s. Now they're just outrageous. Because I started getting into retro games in like around 2011, 2012, like that wave of retro gaming. Like when like the first YouTubers started to like, like
the angriest gamer you've ever heard.
He's the angriness. I mean, I watched stuff like Game Chasers, rest in peace, Billy. Like a lot of the game huntings, Pat the NES punk. Like I was watching all those people. I kind of filtered out over time, but like that like I don't know if you heard, like Billy from the Game Chasers passed away from cancer recently.
Oh, I did not know that. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with too many of them. I knew Pat because he appeared on the one AVGN episode, and then people kept referencing it in the comments. So I looked up whenever he went on Pawn Stars and was trying to sell his Nintendo World Championships thing to them, and he demanded way more than they were willing to pay.
I mean, he said he said multiple occasions he just wanted to be on TV, So.
Yeah, well, and it's like, sure, if they're willing to do it, but I also know that they're not going to. Like, it's kind of like a 1 in a million. Even if I lose, I still get on TV.
Problem with Pat is he started that goddamn podcast, and his partner, like I think it was like Miles or whatever, is such an insufferable cuck. Oh gosh.
That's kind of like even AVGN ran into that, where like James Rolfe was Matt Matei or Mike Matei was like his partner in crime for a number of years, and he mostly did behind the scenes stuff. But then when he started to talk in front of the camera, everybody was like, "Mike is insufferable. Please shut him up." And it was like,
I mean, the funny thing is, like, Mike eventually left and kind of carved out a good streaming stuff for himself.
yeah, he does retro gaming streams.
Apparently,
I know.
I think he's like dating or engaged to like Aaron Plays or whatever. So it's like, good for him.
Yeah, yeah. No, I knew he got like, yeah, he got with some yeah, she was like pretty famous in the sphere, I guess. But like yeah, and James even got away from it. He does like cons and he does the occasional video now, although he's done a couple recently. But
Well, the problem is James hooked up with like the Screenwave Media guys who they tried to like streamline his content and it just did not go well. I think James has kind of been stepping away from those people. I don't know if he works with them as
he did because he commented on it because he's gone through several, like he used to be with like Screw Attack, and then he's gone through several phases, and I think he's mostly just like kind of sticking with his thing, and then things change around him usually. Oh, by the way, Lethal Nonsense, I just linked, it's like a 12-second clip. It's that Dan Green one that I was talking about. Clip that he does, and they put the animation over it if we want to display it. But yeah, there's a lot of guys that if you're on YouTube at like the inception, unless you're like Nostalgia Critic where you got to keep making the checks and making the money.
Nostalgia Critic is really surprising because like late 2010s, you would think he was done, but he's kind of had a bit of a resurgence in the 2020s.
Well, he tried to make his more creative turn where he killed the character,
I remember that.
And then, post that, I don't think he's been as good, quite frankly, because he's become more of a generic, like, nicey nice kind of critic.
I think a lot of that was kind of the aftermath of the change of the channel, which is so fucking hilarious. Like, they did that whole document, and the biggest thing to come out of it is they outed you, Wario.
Who's already pretty much out of everything, right? Oh, there
they outed him as a legit pedophile.
Oh, is that when that got out? I thought it was out before that, and they were just basically like, yeah, he is a piece of shit.
It was an open secret before that.
Oh, okay. This is funny.
All right.
Oh.
Can't hear it.
No audio.
Share with audio.
Oh, you can't hear it?
Friend. No.
Okay, hold on. I hate when this shit happens.
Yeah. But like I remember like a Pat the NES Punk video, he was talking about it, like he was talking about like they'd be at a convention and they'd see Hugh Wario walking around with his arm around like a younger fan. Like they all do it. They all fucking knew what was going on and nobody said anything. So like they accidentally kind of outed Hugh Wario, and this is like 2 years after his death. Like I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of a Hugh Wario fan. I mourned his death. Because I liked him because like he was like a Toku guy or whatever. Yeah, that's why I have no respect for Mars Girl. Like she was very good, like deep friends with you Wario, and she, I guarantee you, she knew what was going on. She didn't do anything about it. She has no leg to stand on as far as moral authority. Like because like Mars Girl is like the spearhead of the Kick Vic movement. And she has no moral authority to stand because she was deep. Because like after Hugh Wario died, she spearheaded the Sue Fami Common project. They did a whole movie tribute to him, which I remember watching at the time. I mean, heck, I think I remember I changed my Facebook profile to a Wario hat for like a few weeks, a memoriam to him. I was a fan at the time.
Yeah.
And then all the stuff came out. I was like, oh God, fucking damn it.
Well,
but like the fact, like she had to have known that's like she was deep within his circle. Like she, if Pat the NES Punk, it could be like an open secret. She knew, so she has no moral authority.
That's the thing. It's all rats jumping from the ship as soon as the shit comes out. It's like,
excuse me.
Yeah. No offense to any rats in the audience. It's just a phrase.
You hear that, Charcoal?
Oh, hey, at least you don't have frogs.
Oh dear. That's the
that's
some
all
Egyptian plague.
I mean, all the frogs are gay anyway, so it's fine.
This is the poisoned water.
Did you hear that? Like, it actually came out of years later that like there was something in the water that was turning the frogs gay.
No, I remember that was somewhat substantiated years later. Yeah, it was like, yeah, and
because that's like the biggest thing he's mocked for. That's like the thing people mock him for.
Well, the crazy thing now is I live in or near Butler, PA, which, as you guys may recall, about a year and some change ago, there was a bullet that grazed a certain president's ear. And so lately, every time that I respond to someone on Twitter or something, I get the response, if it's anything political related, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that you're defending this guy. He literally staged a murder in your town, and to fake his own shooting."
Were
I'm
you
just
at the
like,
rally? Were you at the rally?
I was not at that one. I went to the subsequent one that Elon stopped by whenever he returned
Did
to
you know
Butler.
people who were at that rally?
Yes, I had neighbors who were literally at the literally like 3 doors down from me that had gone there. Yeah, that were fucking
Were there
scrambling.
reports like the kid was walking around with like a ladder or something?
Well, it was like a fucking like there were a bunch of videos of people pointing to the roof and telling authority figures there. They're like, there is a man. He is up there with a gun. Like, no, it was a total fuck up.
And
As
like
far as
they the pretty much the counter snipers killed him like almost right away.
oh yeah, there's an angle on that where it's like an upward kind of angle on Trump talking, and you see the guy on the roof with the gun, the good guy on the roof with the gun, like kind of next to him, and it's like you hear the gunshot, and then you immediately see that guy's gun fire, and so it's like immediate response. It was probably like, you need to verify that I'm not shooting another agent right now, and so that's probably the only reason why you didn't shoot beforehand. But it's like as soon as you see the bullet aimed towards the speaker that goes off, he's like,
I want
okay.
to think like they were probably aware of him, but they didn't have clearance to do anything because like the people were trying to warn people about it. So like I feel like maybe some people were aware of it. You know, that's my theory.
Yep. And I can tell you, it is a little bit strange though, going because whenever I went there, obviously you got someone on your mind, and you're looking around, you're like, and it's a pretty rural town, Butler. Like literally the place that he was speaking, there's probably about 3 tall structures that you could shoot
Okay,
from.
let me ask you a question. So I'm assuming you've been to the site.
Yeah. It was in the exact same spot whenever he went back. Yeah.
So have you stood near the barn? Where? How hard of a shot do you think that would be for like your average shooter?
Well, it's anybody who's fired a few times at a range probably could get a hit. Yeah, I mean, it would certainly be hittable, especially if you're using a scoped rifle. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like the Charlie Kirk assassination, where like that is not like from what I've been told that it like. So I'm not speaking for authority. I'm saying what I've been told. I'm just kind of qualifying myself here. That it's not a hard shot to make, not at all.
Like for the whenever you're shooting at a range, like whenever you're shooting with a pistol, you're like 50, 100 yards. Whenever you're shooting with a rifle, you can go up to like 400. Like it's, especially if you have something to set it on where you have a stance. Like think of video games. Whenever you guys have the bipod that you can mount whenever you're in prone position, like it really does work like that. Whenever you're, I know from hunting, it's very hard to be walking around and aim uphill even with a scoped rifle and like try to keep something. But if I'm in a tree stand and I'm sitting there and I can brace my elbow on my knee and I can just keep myself nice and steady, that's a very big difference. So the guy shooting from a rooftop, I believe he was prone or possibly kneeling.
Yeah.
Like that's a very steady shot. That steadies your shot an awful lot, as opposed to holding the rifle upright and like supporting the whole weight of it with both arms. And
just imagine if Trump didn't like just turn his head at the exact right moment.
Yep. Well, and the fact that a dude died right behind him, like that's the thing that always gets me with people saying that it was staged. It's like, how the fuck would you have staged? Like, you make the guy have a heart attack or what? Like, how did he die?
That's the part that always kind of pisses me off. Like, a man literally died at that rally.
Yeah,
you
can't, and you got contradictions.
And anybody who like Brandon, like the whole like the shockwave would have done that. Like, Brandon Herrera did, like, you've watched the video, he debunked that. By the way, Brandon Herrera for Congress.
He's pretty based.
And it's just like, but it's crazy to me how much that conspiracy is taken. And I literally just respond to people. I'm like, well, go to Alex Jones if you have your crazy shooting conspiracy theories. Why don't you? And then they get pissed off. I say it half just to piss them off.
I don't know what it is about like anti-gun people. They have these like the most stupidest misconceptions of a gun. It's like they're so anti-gun they refuse to even learn about a gun. Like, I don't know, if I was like anti-something, I would want to learn all about it so that I could better argue against it. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a reasonable person. I don't know.
Mhm.
Or like how they think AR stands for assault rifle and not Armalite rifle.
Or even better, they think the AK and AK-47 means automatic killer. By the way, it doesn't AR just stand for like Armalite rifle or something?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah, it's well, yeah, and it's just like funny to hear people talk to you about something that you know personally. It's just
Yeah.
like,
And
oh,
when you argue
this
about it, they're
crazy
like,
yeah, this crazy conspiracy that I heard, and they just state it as fact. They don't even say like, I believe that this is what happened based on it. They just think that it is an unobjectionable truth at this point.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
like,
why, like, when you
really?
see me talking, I'm like very vocal about like this is what I've been told, kind of thing. Like, I'm very careful
Yeah.
to like, qualify
And
what I'm saying.
people do that with everything, though. It's like whenever people are even arguing about like much less serious topics like basketball, they're just like, oh, MJ, we all know that he got kicked out for a year and a half because of gambling. It's like, well, we don't know that. Like that's
It's very coincidental. Like,
that's a
like the whole-
conjecture.
I will say the conspiracy theory. Okay, let's
Yeah.
call it conspiracy theory. It does sound plausible because like the fact that like, oh, he did the baseball stuff as like a smokescreen for like his suspension or whatnot. If it was true, it sounds plausible. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds like it could be true, and I think that's why people believe it.
No, there's just a lot of other factors that make me not believe it, where it's like between the father's death, between him basically saying I've reached the mountaintop and I've stayed there so long and I basically have no competition left and I'm sort of like burnt out emotionally. And, quite frankly, if I'm gonna have a conspiracy, it's that he wanted them to build up another good team and win 3 more times. So he's like, I'm gonna take a little time off, kind of like suck for a couple, not suck. They were pretty good for 1 year, but then I'm gonna come
the
back as the
Wizards?
savior. Oh no, I'm talking about the first retirement whenever he was like 29. No, the Wizards, I don't think there's any ulterior motive there because there's no motivation to come back and play for the Wizards. If he wanted to come back and win championships, he would have been like, hey, Phil, I'm going to go join the Lakers with you. And I'm going to win like title number 7, 8, 9 here right now. Like, if he wanted easy wins,
just imagine he was on the Lakers at the same time as Shaq and Kobe in like the early 2000s.
And he could have. He 100% could have because he had Phil Jackson there as his coach. He would just be like, hey,
okay,
Phil, want to sign me for $1? He's like, yep.
So, like, I'm just thinking back to 2003 when the Detroit Pistons, won the championship against the Lakers.
Yeah,
if Jordan was on that team, they would have swept.
Oh, yeah.
And like 2003, Jordan could have played for the Lakers.
Oh, yeah. He was joking even in his Hall of Fame speech about, and I feel like it almost motivated him because he said, one day you might look up and see me playing at 50. And then people laughed and he was just like, and he just looked up to the crowd. He's like, don't laugh.
Here's the problem, though. Here's the problem, though. Even Jordan, at his current age, is still better than like 90% of the people who ever in the world who play basketball.
Well, there was a funny story that came out recently. I don't know if you keep up, and sorry, Lethal, if it's total non-sports, but it is a funny story regardless of what you're into. It's just a cool human story where, everybody knows Michael Jordan. So they asked him in a recent interview, like, when's the last time you picked up a basketball? He's like, well, I was seeing the Ryder Cup for golf, and I rented a house, and the guy said, hey, I'm heading out, but before we go, I want you to shoot a foul shot for my grandkids. And he's like, really? He's like, all right. He's like, I haven't picked up a basketball in probably 5 years. And so he tells this story, and then the footage came out the next day because everybody was calling BS on him. He's like, and so, it's the most pressure that I felt in years because there's these little kids and they all grew up with mythical stories about me and everything about how great I am from 30 years ago. And now I got to make one shot. And he's like, and the interview's like, I hope
one opportunity.
Yeah. The interview's like, I hope he swished it. He goes, absolutely. Ultimate toxic masculinity. Even when you're 60 something years old and your ankles and knees and shit are wrecked, he's just like, nah, I'm still gonna win when the competition hits. And then like everybody's like, oh, that's bullshit. Why is he making up stories? He's fucking 60 years old. And then it's like the next day, the dude who was renting the house to him released the footage. He filmed it, of course. Whenever
Of course he would.
he's
Of
asking
course he
Michael Jordan,
would.
and it's these little. It was funny because it reminded me of myself because it was little ginger kids with bowl haircuts that had their little Jordan jerseys on, and they're watching him. He's giving them a little history lesson. He's like, "Oh, you know why they put this circle in? You know why they made the lanes this wide?" He's like, "Oh Lord, please let me make this one." And it was like swish, and he starts backing up, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's muscle memory. He's trying to get back on defense right now." He's like, "That's the most pressure I've felt." They're all laughing.
Oh, it's like
he's a-
it's like this video I saw of Ric Flair. He's like in his basement. He's got like a little like squared circle kind of thing going around, and he's like doing like wrestling with some people, and like he's in his like 70s or 80s, and like
Oh yeah.
he can't move around, but you can tell his mind, like he's getting all the angles, like he's kind
Yeah.
of making the movements right, where it's like, yeah, his body can't move like it is, but his mind is still there, and it's
automatic
always-
almost. Yeah.
I love that. It's there's another video I saw where they took this like 90-year-old World War II pilot, okay, and they put him into a cockpit of a P-50, like the plane he flew in World War II, and they let him fly, and he did it. He did it.
That's like physically taxing too. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's like he probably hasn't like stepped in a cockpit in like 50 60 years.
Well, just like
you
the
know?
G-forces. I mean, I'm sure he kept it very tame as far as like, he wasn't doing any crazy banking maneuvers and stuff,
Mhm.
but like just the you feel shit whenever you're flying in a
Probably the
commercial
only reason
plane.
he managed it is because he did it in World War II and he knew like what to do,
Yeah.
Like he still had because like the muscle memory and like the training never leaves you,
Mhm.
So he knew like the like that kind of thing, and just he knew what not to do. Like, okay, I'm 90, so don't do this roll.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
It's always amazing. Just kind of seeing like old people kind of get back into stuff, like they did and before. It's wild.
These are the examples I always bring up because I'm the youngest child, and my brother, who's 3 years older than me, I always say he's like the ultimate unhype man because he's always like, just wait until you're 25. Whenever I was 22, and he's like, you're gonna feel like shit. Everything's gonna be terrible. And then he's like, wait until you're 30. Everything's gonna be shit. Everything's gonna be terrible. He's like always like anti-hype for everything. And you would think that he like turns 70 every year, but
the last one I kind of want to bring up is Tony Hawk still skateboards.
Oh yeah, and he's broken how many fucking bones and
like skateboarding's like that one thing, like at Tony Hawk's age, like maybe you shouldn't do it, but like it's like Tony Hawk, he's got his body's conditioned for it,
his bones have broken so many times that they've hardened.
Like he's probably not doing the 900 anymore, but he can still put him on a half pipe, he can still do some stuff,
Oh man, between Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and SSX, those were crazy fun games.
I mean, with Tony, it's like he just loves skateboarding. He has a huge back and forth,
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of old athletes get into golf, because it's like you still have that competitive flair, but you don't want to do something that's going to destroy your fucking body. Because it's like, basketball players, it's like, I can't jump and do shit. I'm going to pop my Achilles tendon if I even try that at this age. And,
Yeah, it's like the perfect old man sport, because the most exercise you get is like walking around, and like walking for an old person is good. Like that is the best thing you can do.
Yep, and you're not putting a lot of pressures. You're not jumping around. You're just swinging. And
you're getting sun. You're getting outside. What?
Canelo's gonna do golfing after he's done boxing. Probably, I think at the age of 37 is what he said.
Oh, yeah. Some of these sports you age out of so quick.
Yeah, especially fighting.
Yeah, because it's like you can still do it, but unless you're at the tippy top, if you've been at the tippy top, it's like, why would I bother?
Yeah.
It's like basketball or football. It's like, oh, you can play a support role on a team. I can take reduced minutes and stuff. But if it's an individual sport like that, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
And a lot of athletes, you know, because like the career trajectory, no matter what sport you're in, like once you've done the sport, you can go into coaching. You can go into like owning some teams. For a lot of athletes, that can be really hard to do because, you know, like they want to be on the court, you know, like, you know, with those people, but now they're on the back, you know, yelling at them.
Yeah, that is literally what MJ said. He was like, because somebody asked him one time right after he had retired permanently about like, you know, would you ever get into coaching? He's just like, I have no patience for coaching. He's like, I could never watch it, and you know, oh, I don't want to run the line. He's like, I was competitive even in practice. I could never coach. He outright. I mean, it's a character
At least he's
flaw in a
honest.
way,
He's
but
honest.
yeah, it's just like, nah, not for me.
Yeah, a lot of good athletes, or at least I can speak for MMA. Like, just because they're good fighters does not mean that they're good coaches.
Yeah, because it's like it's got to be.
It's almost like the best coaches are like the second and third rung people. You know, the people who are good,
maybe
very
witness
good.
greatness up close and can tell you how to emulate it.
The people who could be like, yeah, I got into a ring with Mike with Mike Tyson, and I lasted 4 rounds. You know, and I got some hits in. I made him work for that KO. You know, kind of thing. You know, like you got knocked out by Mike Tyson. Yeah, in the 7th round, and he really had to work for it. You know, like even though you lost, it's still kind of respectable, kind of thing.
It's funny. The biggest boss that like you know could transition into coaching, and then just got out while he was still ahead. Really was Larry Bird. He went into coaching like '98. Immediately had a very successful year. He's from Indiana, so he coached the Indiana Pacers.
Ew.
And he coached for just like 3 years, and then he was like, I'm out, you know. And he was super competitive guy. For those who don't know, like Larry Bird is the best white basketball player ever. But
when people try to justify white people playing basketball, they point to Larry Bird.
As Peter Griffin once said, I'm the white Larry Bird. and as Larry Bird famously said a number of times, because there's a bunch of people that played against him that always tell the same story. So it must have been like a catchphrase of his where he would say, you guys are disrespecting me. And one of the other players, what are you talking about? He's like, you put the white guy on me. Don't ever do that. It's just like, Larry, you're white. He's like, don't you put the white guy on me. And then he embarrassed him. And then, like, oh, the 3-point contest. He came into the locker room with all the other best 3-point shooters in the league. And he's just like, which one of y'all is coming in second?
And the worst part is, it's like they all knew, like, yeah, he probably could win this thing too. So they couldn't talk shit to him because, like, it's Larry fucking Bird. He probably he has you know, he could very well.
And it shows just the difference in the 90s and shit with like how, you know, it's all toxic masculinity and all this shit. Like I remember whenever you know, Jordan beat the Pacers in '98, Larry Bird's coaching the team and they hug afterwards, and Jordan's just like, fuck you, you bitch. You can see Larry's fucking laughing afterwards, and he's like, you're gonna practice that golf swing now. You got a lot of time on your hands. They're talking shit even after the game is over. Like, and it's just like nowadays they'd be like, Mr. Jordan, you need to come into HR. That was a very inappropriate thing to say.
The problem is they talk shit, but like they're on the golf course together the next day laughing about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like these things that people find problematic today, it's like totally nonchalant, like total just like what? Like you watch even like 2003, like Freddy versus Jason, people are saying the F slur that you're not allowed to say on YouTube. People are saying
Baxter says it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know what the hell he gets away with.
Words, they're calling people French.
Yeah. I never know. Whenever I'm on somebody else's channel, I always try to censor myself more because I don't want to get them in trouble, you know.
Yeah,
but...
yeah. You know, the first thing I say is, "Can I curse?" And they're like, "Yes." Well, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, I never know with YouTube either. It's like, you know, you say something in a slight accent and they won't catch it. That's what Critical Drinker always says. He's like, the Scottish accent, it never catches anything. Like...
Yeah, that was crazy that Backseater called Ant the F word on somebody else's stream.
Well, I remember Star Wars Marvel Purist, RIP, whenever he was on Grizzy's stream, they were doing one of their drunk streams, and he was letting it fly a few times by accident. He'd be like, flag it. And he'd be like, but then as he kind of descended, he started to just say the word outright. And it was just like, and Grizzy was like, I don't know.
Well, that stream's lost media now.
No, he's like, oh no, it just turned yellow. I don't know why. Like, so it's complete crapshoot as far as that stuff goes. Like, these are Laura Croft's guns that came from a fucking limited run games like collector's edition and shit. Like, that could get you in trouble because it's firearms on stream, but really not, because they're fucking pixelated if you even look up close at them. Like, they're completely vintage, like memorabilia kind of deal. But like, the most retarded shit can get you like in trouble. I don't know. It's
like
it's a weird
like, for example,
system.
like they have this weird thing about automatic fire. So like, just imagine you're playing Call of Duty and they get you flagged for that.
Well, and people say like unalive to just to disguise the other.
That's the thing that pisses me off. It's like people get so much flack for that. It's like, oh, it's a millennial TikTok. It's like, no, I want to keep my job. I want to keep my YouTube channel. So I'll say unalive.
Yeah.
I'll say all that stuff.
Well, I think it's stupid to like censor it because you could be speaking in any context using that language, and it's like, I don't know if they want to like, if they think people are making light of it by just saying the word, but it's such an, I don't know.
I think it's stupid too, but I'm going to keep doing it because I don't want to get my channel banned.
No, I know, but it's just like, it's a strange rules that they have where they're like certain words, certain concepts, you can't even talk about it. It's
and here's the thing. As bad as we think YouTube is, Twitch is a million times worse.
Ooh.
Twitch is way worse.
Because the problem is YouTube has its rules, but they're at least semi-consistent with them. Like, there's lines you know to don't cross. The problem is Twitch plays favorites. Like, depending on who it is.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you can have somebody literally shock their dog on stream and nothing happens. Meanwhile, another person calls another streamer fat, and he gets banned for a week.
Yep. No, that is. You
guys know exactly the dramas I'm referencing.
No, it's clear as day example. Well, and far worse than, if you want to use a training collar, use it appropriately. Don't use it to keep the dog within a 2-foot space for 4 hours. But, far worse than that, where you're like literal terrorist organizations that are, officially designated as such by the U.S. government for years through Democratic and Republican organizations.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, yeah, I'm 10 toes down with them. And it's like, this is why I love one of the guys that I watch is he just always leads his videos about Hassan with some phrase, some statistic. He's just like, ladies and gentlemen, hello. There are 400,000 child brides in Yemen due to the Houthis, and Hassan Piker supports them. He's just like,
I am convinced that like Hassan could R-word a 12-year-old live on stream without censoring anything, and people would not only defend it, but he would not get banned.
Well, he would get lately. He would get banned, but
I know.
Dan Clancy would be like, well, I take this matter very seriously. We're going to ban him for 36 hours this time, starting on Saturday night, going into Sunday all day. And that is our punishment.
The ban is going to start at exactly the second where his stream usually ends on Saturday, and it's going to end 30 seconds before he usually starts his stream on Monday. We take this stuff very seriously, guys. See, Hassan got banned.
And we will resume whenever we wish him happy birthday and sing his birthday song for him when I visit him personally.
I don't know what the fuck is like. I keep telling myself there has to be a moment. There has to be things that can get so bad that like people just stop. And with Twitch, it's just like, for example, the Emeru stuff. Like, how the fuck do you allow her? Like, I have no strong things on Emeru. I don't watch her, but like, what happened to her is literally a crime. Like, that should not happen. And the fact that like he didn't immediately get banned. Like he got, like it's just
Well, and the fact that like the only reason she was protected at all was because of her personal security and not because of anything Twitch did.
Not her main one. The main one got
Yeah.
banned because he did his job.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's
How
fucking
dare you
retarded.
grab his arm? Well, he was sexually assaulting me. Well, but you did
Oh.
grab his arm.
By the way, this is becoming a trend because you hear what happened at Wicked at one of the Wicked premieres. Somebody
Oh.
ran up and tried to grope Ariana Grande. So this is
Mhm.
becoming a thing. Like this, there's probably going to happen more and more as like people start running up to these celebrities, and this is going to become a thing. And I'm scared
Yeah, it's the information age. Is the
because like
thing.
with the Emerald sting, literally that guy could have stabbed her. Like there's like because he could have very easily like stabbed her, or whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, Jesus, the dude was huge. If he wanted to, how many pounds of pressure does it? He could have been like, on her neck. Like, you
Yeah.
can do damage even without a weapon. And so that's why security and keeping people at an appropriate distance is so important. And so to just be so neglectful with that, like, I mean, hell, even like hugging her like he did, he could have fucking crushed her. Like he was a massive human compared to her, who's like a miniature human.
That's why at the cons, whenever they do these like photo ops with celebrities that allow you to get like really close to them, and like usually it's up to the celebrities like prerogative if they allow you to like hug, put the arm around or whatever,
Yep.
But it's usually in a very public space. It's surrounded by people, and there's like 2 or 3 security guards just outside the shot. So if you even think about doing anything, they're on you like a fly on shit.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like Steel City Con in Pittsburgh, it's at a very small venue. It's in like a hotel lobby, basically, where they clear it out.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the celebrities kind of in the back more area. I mean, they got security checks and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I have literally walked past Peyton List. And I remember this because she's super fucking hot. But I walked past her on the way to the
Did you
bathroom.
save the cheerleader and save the world? And by save, I mean she invited you back to a hotel room and you were the hero for the night.
Hey, I wish I would have let her. She was on Cobra Kai. I would have let her, kick me in the face or whatever she wanted to do. But
no, sorry. I thought you meant Peyton Panettiere. Sorry.
No. Oh, Hayden
God.
Panettiere. Yeah.
Sorry, I got. Oh God, Tori.
You're mixing up blondes, yeah.
You could fold me like a pretzel, and I'd say yes, mommy.
No, but and
she's fucking hot. She is fucking.
I
hot.
knew that she was there because I had considered splurging. I didn't because I'm usually just there to buy used games or whatever. But just like I went to the bathroom and I happened to walk past her. No security around her or anything. And it was like in the same public kind of hallway. To go back to that for the men's and the women's. And it was just like I had to do a double take. I was like, "Was that her just now?" And then like I didn't even confirm it until like 2 like kind of crones were talking after I would like got past her, where they were like, "Was that the actress?" They were like, "Oh yeah, she doesn't have any security around her or anything." I'm just like, "What seems a little bit sus."
I mean, come on, she knows how to kick asses. So
yeah, that's true. She could have like done a roundhouse kick to the face, Chuck Norris style. But
it's really weird because I do a lot of cons myself because I sell my comics, so like I have a little bit elevated access to the normal people because like I'm there before the con starts, afterwards, when things are a little bit more relaxed or whatever. And it's really interesting because like a lot of times when I want to meet a celebrity, I'll do it like before it opens or before because like one thing you don't know if you're exhibiting at a con and it's like a half hour before the door closes, they'll let you like walk up to celebrity and like get your signing. Sometimes they even do like I remember I think it was like a year like 2024 no this year actually there's Kevin Eastman was at the con, Turtles, and about an hour before the con they had a special signing for the people who were vending there. So like if you were vending at the con, you could actually get stuff signed by him. And it was a special event for only people who were tabling. And I imagine like lots of people do that. But I remember a friend of mine, my mentor in comics, he was doing one of the bigger cons in Michigan, Motor City Comic Con. I don't remember when this was. He never told me actually. And he went to like the canteen area to get food. And so he got his food and he sat down at like this bench, okay?
Mhm.
And partway through eating, John DeLance just sat right next to him. And then a few minutes later, LeVar Burton sat opposite John DeLance, and they were just having a conversation about just random ass conversation. And my friend, because he was like selling comic books at the convention, and I remember my friend's like, I was so nervous, I didn't say anything, I wanted to so badly, you know. But just imagine you're just like eating your food, and all of a sudden, Hugh sits right next to you.
Yeah, well, at that point, you just like make a point to not totally fanboy out. Like, if you can naturally insert yourself into the conversation, sure, but like, you know, make
my friend
make
had
it
a
make
lot
an
of
appropriate joke or something. But
I wish I were LeVar Burton. I wish
Oh,
I
my
were
friend has a
LeVar
lot of
Burton.
these stories. Like, he told me this story one time where he was at a bar. It was like after con or whatever, and he sat next to Julie Benson, Darla, you know, the actress for Darla from Buffy. And he was like flirting with her, like they were flirting back and forth with each other. I don't know if anything happened to it. I don't know if any like half vampires were sired that evening. Like, oh gosh, my mentor was a bit of a playboy in his younger years. Oh gosh, yeah, cons are fun. They're a lot of fun. I live for them. I'm actually doing one next week. It'd be cool.
I haven't been to that many. I went to our local con, which is kind of cool. But there wasn't really like a whole lot. And then the most recent one I went to was Star Wars Celebration, or Shilibration as they like to call it.
Mm.
And that one was like kind of overwhelming because
Yeah, that's huge. That's a huge one.
it was massive. It was in Japan, and
Oh wow.
yeah, me and the girlfriend went out there for like 2 weeks. So we went to, I think it was on Friday, because the first time I looked at it, tickets were available for all like 3 days, and then like I made the mistake of waiting to get another ticket.
Yeah.
So I had to go on Friday, and this is back before I started getting like college money or any of this. I was still paying off debt. I was paying off my car. I mean, now I'm living pretty well, and I'm getting disability.
Oh, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Yeah, so I'm now I'm getting housing allowance and disability tax free, courtesy of VA.
Nice.
Whenever they don't fuck it up. But what was the whole? Yeah. So, anyways, that's why I didn't get the tickets sooner. And then, but yeah, dude, that place was fucking like massive. There were so many fans, and I didn't realize how many like Star Wars fans were in Japan, because whenever I was there, it wasn't like back in 2020. Whenever I actually lived there, it wasn't as massive as like, you know. But I was also in Okinawa, so it might have been a little different. But yeah, there's a shit ton of like Japanese people that love Star Wars. There's a lot of cosplays, a lot of good cosplays.
Yeah, like I actually remember like Star Wars actually did very well in Japan from the get-go. And if remember, like the Star Wars sequel struggled in China because China never really took off in China, and at the time everything was about the Chinese box office in like the 2010s, and it didn't do well there because, you know, Chinese never really got into Star Wars.
I remember they signed like a big singer or something to like try to push it in China, and he like made a music video with like stormtroopers and shit. This was like Force Awakens time, because they figured like, oh, this is our big reboot. This is like when we're gonna make our big push, and it just like, yeah, it just fizzled out. Because that made like almost half its money domestically. Like it still holds, I'm pretty sure, the domestic record, where it's just like a crazy amount. Hey, by the way, speaking of cons, this is my most prized possession. Andy Serkis signed copy of Gollum PS4.
Nice.
Is that like really shitty game that like lasted
it was fate, because the year this game came out, I believe it was 23. He was coming to Pittsburgh for like the first time that I had ever seen, to the Steel City Con, like literally like 2 months after the game came out, and I was like,
okay, I
gotta bring the slip cover.
Okay, I need you to hold it up, stroke it, and go, "My precious." That needs to be done.
Precious.
Also, I guarantee you that's not the first time someone's asked you to do that.
Oh my gosh. It's
Oh, did you see that video? There was this couple that was getting married in Honiton in New Zealand, and Elijah Wood crashed the wedding.
oh
Like
shit.
they were in the middle of their vows, and he just walked up, and like everyone freaked out. Like come on, you're in Honiton. Elijah Wood is like a dream come true. Oh god.
Everybody starts to bow to him, and he turns to the marrying couple, and he's just like, "My friends, you bow to no one."
And like they actually included him in the wedding pictures because like yeah, you're in Hobbiton, Elijah Wood's here.
Oh
And he's just
yeah.
in normal ass clothes. Like
It's like, you think your wedding was cool? Check out my pictures. No, but Andy Serkis,
I just want
he
to know
did get
like the person
a
who made that possible. To, like I guarantee you, so like because he had like they had to fly like because it was like it had to have been like the uncle or like somebody related to the party who was like fucking rich who wanted to
Yeah.
because like they're already getting married because like, they were surprised like they did not know what's happening. So I guarantee it was
Yeah.
someone in the like someone who basically paid a fuck ton of money like and celebrities will do that like I saw this one video where it was like this wedding and the bride was a huge fan of the Little Mermaid and like the father was fucking loaded. So you want to know what he did? He flew out Judy Benson to be a guest at the wedding. She sang Part of Your World. You know, she sang the Little Mermaid stuff and she got to I mean, I imagine for this like stuff like that is probably easy gigs for them, you know. Like imagine you're Judy Benson, you know, it's like, oh, I'm getting flown out to a wedding. I have to like meet and greet people who already love me. I sing a song that I already know, and I get to enjoy a wedding. I get paid for it. Or Elijah Wood. It's like, oh, I'm getting flown out to New Zealand. Everything's paid for. I get to meet people who are already fans of me. It's an easy gig.
Yeah, you reach a certain level of status, and it's like, this sounds like a fun day. Plus, I'm getting paid for it more than is gonna like. It's just like, why not have a
Like
little bit
Elijah
of fun?
Wood. It's like, yeah, it's like, okay, so there's this couple in Hobbiton. They're having wedding. We want you to show up, kind of be a guest at the wedding. Him was like, oh, I get to like make like for him, it's like I get to make their day. It's like he knows he's making it extra special. I'm sure there's some ego involved. Elijah seems fine, but you know there's some ego.
Yeah. No, did you ever see oh my gosh, it was hilarious. Whenever Conan O'Brien would play video games, and he played Final Fantasy 15, and he had Elijah Wood on for this episode, and he's in the Square Enix offices, and he starts just absolutely trashing on the game. He's just like, why is it? What? They're like, oh, you got to find the sacred crystal because he's got his little video game expert there, and Conan's just like, why is it always a crystal? Why is it always a crystal or something? And he turns to Elijah Wood. He's like, I'm sorry, or a ring. And then he just starts dipping his fucking head out. And Elijah Wood's like a big Final Fantasy fan because he's like, oh, I get. They mentioned something about Chocobo, and he's like, oh, I get to ride the giant chicken. I get to ride it. He like knew what it was immediately. Like, so he knew this series lore better than I did.
So for him, it's like just the offer to go to the Square Enix office, he's like, I would have done that for free.
Go to Square Enix, play some video games with Conan O'Brien. Like, why not?
Maybe meet some of the people behind Final Fantasy 7. Like, I would like Elijah be like, you're paying me to do it.
And Conan's fucking hilarious anyway, so I'm sure he's just fun to hang out with, better than like spending your day sitting on the couch or whatever. And so it's like, then Conan starts absolutely trashing on them because they're like, oh, they want to get a wedding dress. They like start doing side quests and shit. And he starts dipping his head out into the Square Enix office. He opens it into the cubicles. He's just like, hello, yes, you worked on this game. What's the point of all this? Why did you make this? And he's just like, you're wasting all my time. He's absolutely trashing on them. His old Clueless Gamer, that's what the segment was
I know he
called.
did like an Overwatch one. That was pretty funny from what I hear.
Well, his more recent ones I feel like are more like I don't know, corporatized, I guess. Because like the old ones he used to do with Aaron, oh gosh, I don't remember his name, but he was like a local like a geeky nerd that worked on his staff. And so it was like the one guy who knew games versus Conan, who's like a 50-year-old guy who like doesn't play games. And so that was the comedy of it. It was like grandpa fucking playing the games.
Yeah.
Like the Tomb Raider reboot, he played the first game of, and he was like, oh, who developed this? He's like, oh, Square Enix. He goes, very good decision to have the camera behind this this character. He's staring at her ass, and she's crawling through the tunnels. And then every time that she died, he would just start beating up the guy. He's just like, why are you killing her? You're killing her.
What's
He's like,
funny
"She's
about
so
Tomb Raider
beautiful."
What's funny about Tomb Raider 2013 is a lot of those death animations are very brutal. Like they make you wince.
That's what he was reacting to. Cause like, yeah, she gets stabbed through the throat whenever she's floating down the river by like a spare branch or something. He's like, ah.
What's worse is they have her stand for the branch, but the camera holds for a few more moments as she gets still, and they allow her to like float there. You know,
Yeah.
like, they're really lingering on it.
No, that shit was brutal. And then like, but yeah, every time he would die, he just started punching the guy in the shoulder. He's just like, why are you letting her die? She's so beautiful.
Part of me, like, I kind of wish he would do Final Fantasy VII, the original. Because like I just like see his reaction to Aerith dying.
Ooh.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, even like the remake Tifa, I mean, I fell in love with her in about 5 minutes. I was just like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's very hard not to.
yeah, you're a kick-ass, awesome, beautiful voiced, amazing body, like women who can make me a drink, who can like Jesus Christ, Square Enix, it was a bunch of pervy Japanese guys just sitting around being like, how can we make a perfect woman? It's like,
and she's caring, she's empathetic.
oh
like,
my god.
You know she's like the perfect wife.
Problematic male gaze material.
Well, yeah, even like personality wise,
these
like
toxic male gamers, they want to marry her and like provide her with a nice life. They want her to bear their children and like they take care of the children together. Oh my god!
Literally,
they want to provide for her. They want to dote on her. They want to do all these nice things for her. How dare these toxic male gamers want to provide for this nice lady?
That's the thing. Like I love watching like leftists squirm with certain things that it's like it spits in the face of all their values, but it also has like a strong female character. Like
Stellar Blade, the Stellar Blade stuff was amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So like yeah.
Also the best one is they'll shit on Stellar Blade, but if you bring up Bayonetta, oh my god, they twist themselves in pretzels up until the point where it's revealed that she became a trad wife at the end, and they lost their fucking that was Hideki Kamiya's greatest troll, was to make this lesbian a trad wife in the
gay icon. How could he do this? He betrayed his fan base. It's like he didn't know any of that shit, guys. I hate to tell you, but he was just writing his story, and he never had any of that shit that you imagined in your head. Like, I know that's been like an internet meme where she's like a queer icon or whatever, but guess what? It wasn't in his story at all. You made all that shit up. Yeah. Every time that a woman touches another woman, it's not queer baiting. Like,
even better. It's like, guys, you do know that like two males can just be friends, right? Just because they're very close, like the Frodo and Sam thing. Or just like
let them be gay. Ooh, it's like they're friends. They are fucking. Oh my god, they do it with Goku and Vegeta.
Example,
they do it with Frodo.
For example,
and Sam,
I'm just with the cat of the bag. So, in Screecher, she's got like a frenemy named Shiva. They go back. They're friends. Their muffs will never touch.
Unless they're fighting over a man.
like
he's mine. No, he's mine.
I really want to write a scene where guys are having a sword fight, and at one point says, "Dude, this is so gay." It's like, no, it's not. It's like, dude, we're literally crossing swords right now.
Then you have the hottest chick watching, and she's like, "Yes, fight for me."
But no, like that is the kind of like I want to make that scene so much now. Like this a pun, dude, we're literally crossing. And by the way, in like that scene, it shows our swords are literally touching.
Don't cross the streams or there'll be an explosion. Uh-oh.
No, just to kind of explain the joke, it's like there's this thing. It's like it's not gay unless your swords touch.
Yeah. The devil's threesome is the two guys, one girl, one. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of your comic, I think you're gonna talk about it more earlier.
Yeah, and then I made like one mention of retro games, and we just nope. Nope, we're talking about video games now for the next hour. To be fair, I brought that up myself. So yeah, I got this comic called Screecher. It's pretty heckin' awesome. We did issue 4, which is the end of volume 1, last month, and it was the most funded Kickstarter ever, thanks solely to this guy.
Yeah, although we talked about
It was
this
it was
before.
almost not the most solely funded, also thanks to this guy.
Yeah. So we talked about this before the stream where I accidentally I gave him a panic attack. So what had happened was on my end was I was trying to increase like the amount that I donated, but I didn't know that it stuck to like I had to put the entire amount. I thought it was gonna add like the $5 or whatever it was to that donation. So I put 5 and then it like dropped and I was like, oh wait, what's happening here? And then he explains it.
It's really funny. Like if you watch that stream, I'm like, oh, giddy, and then like the number drops, and it just the energy, all of my energy just leaves my body at once.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I look at it because like at first I thought it was like somebody trolling me, like somebody who had backed in trying to fuck with me or whatever. And then I looked at it. I looked because I have access to the back end because it's my campaign. And it said I saw Lethal Nonsense's name, and like I knew he was already in the chat. I was like, oh, okay. And by the way, at this point, there's like 7 minutes left in the campaign, like 5 minutes, like single digits. It's like Lethal Nonsense. Please change it back. You decreased it instead of increasing, and thankfully, Lethal was on point and put it back to what it should is, and we ended with 2,135. So thank you, my friend.
Yeah, not a problem. Always love to support an indie author.
Yep. So I'm just waiting for the Kickstarter money to come in, and then we're gonna go to print. Then that's gonna be out, and I'll ship that to people probably December, January, latest February. Next campaign isn't until like June or July. We're going to be doing a trade paperback for Volume 1. That's gonna be pretty cool. But my next release is... So I did a novel. In 2024, I Kickstarted it. And then I edited it. I worked with my editor. And we've been shipping the Kickstarter backer copies all summer. It's like a sci-fi fantasy novel. Like, I think Star Wars, but from Obi-Wan's point of view. So if you like Star Wars...
point of view.
Fuck you, you son of a bitch. I never thought of that joke, but fuck you.
You see, it is a gay story from a certain point of view.
But no, like with this one, are you guys familiar with the hero's journey formula? Like the story,
Yes.
the story thing?
Yeah.
So this is a hero's journey story told from the mentor's point of view.
Oh, that's
okay.
interesting. I like
So it's
that.
a very short one because usually the mentor dies. But
Does this look short to you?
that's what she said. No,
I mean, don't you look a little bit short? Don't you look a little too long to be a mentor story?
aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper or a little long for a mentor story?
No, what's interesting is I had to reverse engineer things because, like, if I'm being told from the mentor's point of view, in these kind of stories, the mentors are always defined by their backstory. Like in A New Hope, Obi-Wan is defined by his backstory during the Clone Wars and history with Anakin. So I had to go back and like create a really strong backstory for the character, which intended had a knock-on effect of the previous story. So basically, it stars a guy named Jason. Sorry, that's the old name. Jason Lamont. Like it was Justin or Juiced because like Castlevania Harmony Distance, but everyone keeps calling him Justin. And I was like, oh, people get confused in names, so I'll change it to something a little more simpler. And he was the Captain General of the Royal Guard. And so basically the king was falling into ill health, and his bastard son Elric made a bid for the throne. And so the night the capital fell, instead of standing there defending his king, his castle, to his dying breath, Jason fled on the royal starship like a coward. Okay,
Mm.
forsaking everything he stood for, all his morals, everything. It's kind of an exploration of, you make one choice in a moment, and it's a heinous choice. Can you come back from it? And so, flash forward 15 years later, he's living in the Alpha Centauri system. By the way, this takes place like our solar system, the 4000s. And he's living in the Alpha Centauri system as like a mercenary. He's a bit of a drunk. He uses anger to like mask his grief. We've met these kind of people, and so he gets in this assignment to take this like 15-year-old kid back to the Sol system to kind of smuggle him in to the hands of the Spartan Alliance.
Kind of like an intergalactic Last of Us.
Kind of, there's some Mandalorian shades in it.
Mm.
And so lo and behold, that 15-year-old kid is Orion Shankar, the very baby he abandoned 15 years prior. But here's the thing: it's like he's given a pack of information that says everything, but he refuses to read it. So like he doesn't like we don't find out he's a prince until like a third to halfway through the novel. It's always like, didn't you read the packet? He's like, I was going to.
I'm a man. I don't read instructions.
So a little bit of spoiler alert: he actually doesn't read the packet until like the end of the book, and like he just all this stuff just comes falling out, information he could have used but he didn't. And
he's like, spoiler alert.
Just one tiny data wafer that I'm gonna leave it there. That's like the last chapter. But yeah. So this is pretty cool. The way I structured it is kind of interesting. So I structured it kind of like in KOTOR, Knights of the Republic, where like you could pick what planet you go to, and like there'd be like the storyline of the planet. You do what you needed to do, and then you'd move on.
Yeah.
That's kind of how this is structured. So, basically, each planet is like 2 chapters, and like there's something that happens at this planet location, and then they move on to the next point. So it's kind of like when I wrote it, I kind of wrote it like a comic book, where like each chapter was an issue, and like each a 2-part issues and like kind of thing. Because I wrote this during COVID, so this was my COVID thing. So people ask, "What did you do during COVID?" I wrote a book. Yeah, this is my COVID thing. Sorry.
Lethal Nonsense. Do you have a link to buy it, or a link to the starter?
You can link to the Kickstarter because this book is actually going to be going into wide release next month because we've been.
Okay.
I've been taking it out. I've been sending it out to the Kickstarter backers first, but we're kind of on the last wave of it. So I'm committed to releasing it next month. I don't know exactly when, but it will be next month. And so at that point, you'll be able to buy it on sites like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and lots of other places. But if you do live in the southeastern Michigan area, next Saturday on the 22nd, I will be at Blue Water Comic-Con in Port Huron, Michigan. And I will have 5 copies of these available for sale. They're $20. So if you're in the area and you want to buy one, I'll have 5 copies available. And I do sign for free. But other than that, yeah, they'll be available next month. And then, yeah, these, it's going to, outside of, basically what I do with the comics is, I put them up as a Patreon exclusive digitally for a while. And then, 6 months later, they go digitally on Global Comics. But if you want to buy them physically after it, you got to hit me up at cons or message me personally.
Well, you're in Michigan, so that's right on the edge. But if there were there's still CityCon about 3 times a year.
Actually, I will be doing a con in Toledo, Ohio, in March. I'll be doing Fantastic Con in Toledo. That's already paid for and whatnot. So if you want to come out to Toledo, I will be there, and I will have copies of Lost Kingdom.
Damn, all right. That's about a 5-hour drive for me, but I bet I could do it. Yeah,
that's about the farthest, because I don't have money for hotel rooms, so I have an hour radius. Port Huron's an hour and a half, but that's a 1-day con. So I can just drive there. It's a multi-day con, and it's like more than an hour, I have to get a hotel room. Like, for example, there's a con in Lansing I did earlier this year, like a big con. The only reason I did it is because a friend of mine let me crash to her place, saving me a fuck ton of money. And I might be doing that one again next year. That's in Lansing. That's Capital City Comic Con. But yeah, I mostly do cons in like the Metro Detroit area, a bunch of those. I'm wanting to branch out, but we'll see.
Come to Texas.
I think the only way that's happening is if somebody hosts me. Because that I'll have to get a hotel room, and even like, oh gosh, just getting there is going to be expensive.
Yeah, I feel your pain on that one. I drive down to Arizona usually once or twice a year, and that's about a 30-hour kind of trek.
One con that I am looking at, there's one in Columbus called Space, Small Press Alternative Comics Expo. I did that in 2019. A person I was friends with at the time, basically, I just got a free ride there, essentially. I might do that one again. That's 4 hours away from me. I'd have to get a hotel room, but like, maybe I'll do that one. That's in Columbus, Ohio. So,
yeah, that's pretty doable. That's probably about
4 hours ain't bad.
that one's probably about 2.5. Columbus is a lot closer to me, actually. Ohio's got that kind of squarish kind of shape. Not an actual square because the bottom's all rigid, but as far as like actual geography.
Yeah, I got a bunch of cons planned for next year. I'm thinking about maybe doing Grand Rapids Comic Con. That's like the second biggest con in Michigan in 2026.
Yeah,
and in 2027,
Drinker's been there. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah, they get some good people. I think they're actually doing it right now. Like it's actually going on right now. I think. Capital City is like the third largest Comic Con in Michigan. Motor City Comic Con's a big one, and that Motor City is actually like an hour away from me. So like, I don't have the hotel excuse, but it's very expensive for a table. Like it probably cost me like $300-400 for a table. So I'm planning on doing that in 2027. That's gonna be like I'm gonna do that then.
Yeah, I know. Like my brother's down in Arizona, and so we've gone to Phoenix Fan Expo, I believe it's called. It's like the fourth largest Comic Con in the nation because Phoenix is a massive fucking city. And they have a lot of they have
Razor Fist is down there. I know that.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. I went to the one. I was killing time in between panels that I wanted to go to, and I went to a women's authors panel. Because it was in the room next door to the one that I wanted to go to, which was like a Final Fantasy one. And I was like, oh, I got a half hour to kill. I'll stop by here. I'll see what they have to say. And it was literally just a fucking half hour, not even because I exited early, of just like, well, guys, the main rule of writing is that you need to always make your villain just like sympathetic and heroic. And it was like all the worst writing tropes of the recent years where they're just like, I was just like, oh my God. They're literally just
where it's like the night before they were Googling.
Yeah, and it was just the most basic shit. They had nothing of value to say. I'm just like, I gave you such a chance, and you just like
I don't attend period panels very often. Like I remember in 2014, I was at Motor City Comic Con, and William Shatner was there. That tells you had the count. Like okay, so this is like 2014. They had I was in line to see Jason A. Frank, the Green Ranger. On one side was William Shatner. The other side was Carl Urban. All right.
Oh.
This gives you like the idea of how big Motor City is. You know what I'm saying? And I remember later in the day, I actually ducked into a panel with William Shatner, and somebody like asked him about like, because this is like 2014 to like Age of Ultron era. You know, somebody asked him about like James Spader because he worked with him on Boston Legal, and he told like this really great story about him working with James Spader on Boston Legal. It's really cool. I'm sorry, I like William Shatner. Like,
oh yeah.
He's direct. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah, dude, he's so with it to be that way at like 90 years old. Like
whoever runs his Twitter is I love that person. I guarantee you it's not William Shatner, but whoever runs his Twitter is awesome.
Well, and it really sucks that like he's been frozen out of so much Star Trek stuff. Like you need to treasure him while he's here. And Paramount's
It's
just like,
Captain fucking Kirk.
yeah, he's literally the cornerstone of your franchise. He is the founder of your franchise, for more or less.
Like, how the fuck is it that Disney has treated Mark Hamill, who is Lucas? He's Lucas, the cornerstone of Star Wars. Like, he is like the equivalent of it. Like, Disney has treated Mark Hamill better than they've treated Captain Kirk.
Yeah, I
treated
mean,
him great.
the banner of Star Trek on Paramount Plus or whatever, it's like doesn't even include Captain Kirk. It's like
or if they do, it's like the recast or one of the recasts.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That is crazy. That is legitimately like that is like having a Dragon Ball banner on your streaming service and not having Goku.
The fact that we never got like say what you will about Star Trek 2009, but the way they included Leonard Nimoy was great. They kind of ruined it with Into Darkness.
Yeah.
But if that was his last scene, beautiful. Like, if nothing else, that makes that movie iconic. Like the way that they used Leonard Nimoy was, in fact, it was canon. Like, that's the thing that I like about 2009. It's perfect. It's perfectly in line with canon. That is the Spock. That is Leonard Nimoy, the canon Spock. Like, literally the canon Spock in this movie. Talking, and the fact that he's talking to his younger self, only Star Trek could have done that and made it work. And I love how Leonard Nimoy, and one of my favorite things is when he first saw Carl Urban as Bones, he's like, oh my god, it's like I'm seeing DeForest Kelly. Like, he even started to cry or what. Can you just imagine you're Carl Urban and you hear Leonard Nimoy say that? That has got to be the highest compliment. I have a soft spot for 2009. I will defend that movie.
No,
they tried with that movie.
Well, and it showed some reverence, and that's all we really. I mean, honestly, people act like fans are unreasonable or whatever. It's like fans just want you to show some basic respect. Like, it's not that hard. And
like for example, Mandalorian season 2 ending is like exactly the kind of reverence. Like, I don't think people knew just how badly they needed that scene. And the fact that people who worked on Star Wars, Pablo or whatever, was mocking people who cry. Disney got the kind of reaction that companies would burn their sister, would burn their daughter alive to please the red god of fire to get. Yeah, the Game of Thrones reference, but that is the kind of reaction that they want. All companies want that that kind of reaction, and it's a good scene. It's no matter how bad Star Wars is, that scene is good. I will say though, there is an edit where they put the Force theme on it, and it just takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, no, as far as just and especially after The Last Jedi and stuff, it's just wow, it's at least wow, you're not.
That was the apology. That was the apology for Last Jedi.
Yeah, you're not shitting on the character. It's just have him do some cool stuff. At least have him be shown some reverence. I always say this. It's basically we went through the whole meta phase in the 90s, starting with Scream and everything, where it was all self-referential and very much picking apart tropes and everything. And then I feel we with the Marvel humor, people took the worst parts of that, where they were oh,
it goes deeper than that. The Marvel humor is Whedon humor. Go back and watch and I like Buffy. I like Firefly. I love those shows very very deeply. I will die for those shows. But if you watch Phase 1 and then Avengers comes and it's all full Whedon speak. And the thing is, and in the latter half of Phase 2, because if you look at a lot of the Phase 2 films, they kind of don't have it was Avengers and then Guardians of the Galaxy cemented it. So because and that was when it's basically the Whedon humor, the stock Whedon humor is and they're still doing it, and I think it kind of worked for Avengers. You know, like it was kind of okay, but it got old. And
Well-
characters who shouldn't be quipping like that, like I like the first Doctor Strange, but when he makes those Whedon-esque quips, it just doesn't work for me. Like, oh, you don't listen to Beyonce? Oh, the warnings come after the spell.
Yeah. No, it's I always say it's the worst parts of it because people will take the surface level or the sort of easy parts of it and they go, "Oh, this is what made it successful." It's like, no, the Whedon humor works whenever you're already invested in the characters and whenever you are invested in the story enough that like them making that joke, it fits.
Like for example, Mandalorian is a big thing about this because Disney thought, oh, they like Grogu. He's a baby, goo goo gaga. Like I'm sorry, Grogu should have said his first word. He should be speaking by now.
Yeah.
There's no like, and if he got nothing, he has nothing to do in season 3. Like they sideline him really hard.
Have
Why
me
the
some
fuck
shit and throw up.
like, like he barely does anything. It seems like why the fuck is he even there? You know, it's like oh goo goo gaga baby, you know, like he's like oh look he does baby stuff, you know.
Well,
oh
they
look
have
at the it just arrested his character, and he's still like that in Mandalorian Grogu.
Well, the thing is, they had their chance to advance the plot, and they took it back in Book of Boba Fett when they had him reset. You know, those 2 episodes where they threw the Mandalorian in and they said, "Oh, forget about that whole emotional ending of season 2. We're going to immediately walk it back."
Like literally, like Grogu's first word is a plot point that you could have gone around. Like imagine like Din Djarin's like feeling some like and like and Grogu's first word is Papa, Dada, or whatever, you know. Basically like I see you as my father kind of thing. Like can you imagine how big that moment would be? Apparently I'm smarter than Disney, but that's not hard.
Well, I think a lot of people are these days.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why they're losing revenue.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
we live in interesting times. Like there's people are starting to walk things back, but like they're fighting on, you know. I don't know. I just think like the left pushed way too hard. And just you know, because your average normie person is basically a live and let live, you know. Like you tell them like trans people are people, just let them live their lives. Okay, fine. You know, I'll treat the, you know, whatever. Like, but when you start forcing them to do stuff, you know, and it's like, oh, I can't like hot chicks anymore, you know, kind of thing. It's just I don't know.
Yeah. No, this is what you get whenever you play like or watch retro stuff where, and by retro, I mean literally like 23, 25
By the way, look
years.
at the Netflix statistics. The most watched shows are from like 10, 20 years ago, like stuff like The Office, Friends, like literally. And like that's why we have a retro game revival. That's why Gen Z is into retro games. That's why older films. That's why we're having a retro tech boom. That's why people are digging out their Motorola Razors from 2005 because they're just sick and tired of smartphones. You know?
And it's not like it's anything radical. It's literally just like, you know, I play Legend of Dragoon and the chick is a princess and she's captured and I go and save her and the guy is the hero and he has a big power up moment. I'm like, why does this feel foreign? Like, this is so strange.
That's a problem. Like, I don't know if you saw the Mario trailer, but like that kind of gave me some pause because the first half is Mario and Luigi mocking Bowser. And the second half is all girl boss. And like Rosalina, I'm here to kidnap you. And then like she does like the Super Saiyan shit, you know, and defeats a monster, you know. Like it was they pulled in the first movie, they pulled it back just enough so that you could tolerate the bullshit. Now it seems like they're just going full into it, and I'm kind of scared.
But it's like it's not like it's a hardcore political stance whenever they go against it in the retro stuff. It's like, oh yeah, this was just normal. Like this was just like when before all the activism and sensitivity readings, started to take effect, it was just like, oh yeah, this was just a thing that happened naturally.
And then they did have kick-ass princesses because like
Well,
Twilight Princess Zelda, you know, where like the army's coming to face her, she's staring down, she's got a sword in her hand,
Mhm.
you know, but then she drops it because overwhelming force. And in the final battle, she's on the horseback with you, shooting her light arrows. She's
Yeah.
helping you defeat the evil. She's not some passive princess. She is a part of this. She is, you know, kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
Well, you
Oh,
know
go
what's
ahead.
funny is whenever I was talking about the KOTOR remake in my video, there were like some people that were commenting. Somebody commented, "Well, I hope it isn't woke," and then somebody was like, "What do you mean? KOTOR was always woke." And
oh, that bullshit! Like the retroactively things are woke.
yeah,
How
and
is
well, they
how is
just pretty much
KOTOR woke? I don't get it.
because Johanny's gay, and I guess that equals wokeness. I mean,
Okay.
BioWare's always been like a little bit more progressive, but I wouldn't say it's like anywhere near like woke themes. It's not like, uh man bad, women good, or whammon good, or whatever. I mean, they kind of had like a balanced cast. Like
That's the thing about older media. Even when they were woke, they did it in a way where it wasn't like in your face. You know, like
Yeah.
I remember playing Witcher 3, and like there's a quest with the huntsman, and he's talking about like, oh, I have this affliction or whatever, and the village cast man's like, he's like, because you assume it's werewolfism. He's like, oh, I got a potion for that. I can help you. Like, no, it was something else, and it's like very heavily implied that he's gay. You know, like
I
yeah,
wouldn't.
like okay, that's a cool story. I like it. You know, they're not like pushing it too much or whatever. And it's the same thing. Like if you read the Wheel of Time books, if you're a leftist who has like literally 2 brain cells, you're just gonna take a look at the surface level of the book and be like, this book's woke as fuck, you know, kind of thing. But it's really weird because there are trans people in Wheel of Time. It's like the later novels. There's this character called Asengar who gets transformed from a man to a woman. You know, like, oh, trans people, trans representation. But it's kind of weird because there's a male half and a female half of the true source, okay? And the thing that outs Arengar is that he uses Sidene, the male half of the true source. And one of the Ashaman senses it. And so what the book says is what half of the true source is tied to your soul. So even though Arengar was in a woman's body, it still had the soul of a man and was using the male half. I mean, I think that's interesting as fuck. But like, it's
That
not
is
like the
interesting.
straight pro-trans thing, you know, kind of, you know, whatever.
Well, it kind of reminds me of what is it? Kara no Kyokai. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's I think Type Moon. It's like kind of it's in the same universe as the Fate series, but I think like the main character, she has 2 sides. There's Shiki, and then there's like Shiki all caps, and one of them is like male. I mean, but she's a female
Yeah.
with like 2 different personalities. But it's not like, well, and they also gender bend, but I mean, at least the characters are hot. But it doesn't really come off as like woke or like super virtue signaling.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It is natural for a writer to want to play around with things. Like, for example, I love Battlestar. I love Katie Sackhoff. You know, Starbuck was originally a dude, but then they made her a woman. You know, but I love it. You know, whatever. Sorry, there's another Wheel of Time thing I just wanted to talk about real quick. So in the books, they even talk about college lesbian. There's a concept called that's kind of similar to like college lesbianism. So in the books, there's this thing called pillow friends, to where when women come to the tower to learn how to be Aes Sedai, which is an all-woman spellcasting order, there's this thing called pillow friends, where it's like you sleep with them, you know, you share a bed, and it's heavily implied you have sex with them, but like afterwards you kind of grow out of it, you know. Like sometimes your pillow friend, you'll still be friends with them, you know. I just thought like there's some interesting concepts where Wheel of Time is full, like there's a battle of the sexes. There's a lot of gender like dynamics in Wheel of Time. And if you're a fucking idiot and you just look at the surface level of the book, oh, it's woke, but these are books that are meant to be dive headfirst into the themes and explore stuff. You know, that like they're huge fucking books. You know, like let me go grab one. Let me go grab one of them.
The thing
Yeah,
is, the thing is, yes, there are men and women, and they're both prominent roles, but they also exemplify the difference between the sexes.
Yeah.
And they 100% believe in like, oh, there is inherent traits in each sex.
This is the 9th book in the series, by the way.
Oh
There's
damn!
14
I haven't
of
even
these
made
books.
it that far. Yeah, I made it like 6 books deep, and then
I've read the entire series.
Oh damn!
Yeah, problem is a bunch of my books got flooded, so I don't have all of them. I need to rebuy them. But yeah, this is the 9th book in the series, Winter's Heart. But yeah, I like Wheel of Time. I defend it, but there's parts that I can't defend, like the slog and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I've heard a lot of progressives give it more crap, where they're like, "Oh, it has these gender stereotypes." I'm like, "It's not gender stereotypes; it's sex stereotypes," which are 100% true because there's a difference between the sexes. And I hate to tell you guys this, but like, it's like, you know, the women are naturally a little bit more snippy. They're a little bit more like, oh, kind of passive aggressive towards each other, competitive.
And this is a problem. Like calling Wheel of Time anti-woke. I actually will push back against that, because like the most like the Aes Sedai are like one of the highest order. They're like one of the biggest nations. Andor is ruled by a queen, and is always ruled by a queen. Like, women have very prominent roles. They are contributors to the plot. But here's the thing: the men are also contributors to the plot. And you know, like you can have the women think like, oh, you know, women are better, but in the thing, the men say they're better. You know, it's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
No, I don't even consider that. Having prominent female characters has never been a problem, so I don't even consider that like a woke or anti-woke thing.
I mean, hell, I wrote a comic book about a female Batman. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, like that's never been the thing. The reason I point it out is because, as far as you know, the books, they started to get written in the early 1990s, I want to say.
I think he started writing them in the 80s. I think the first book came out like 93.
Yeah, so you know, they came out at a time where it was like, yeah, there are differences. Both sexes can
1990.
be very,
First book came out in 19. So he's definitely working on it in the 80s.
So it's like both can be very strong. Both can be in leadership roles. You know, Margaret Thatcher became Prime Minister of Britain in the 80s, for example. But like, regardless of all of that, it's, yeah, there are strengths and weaknesses, but the very fact that he believed in a sort of biological difference to the point where, you know, women have certain powers in the magical system.
Yeah, especially like the way he describes either side, like the true source, Sidene and Sidar. The way he describes it. Like, for example, the women, they describe Sidar as a flowing river. The more you try to fight it, the worse it gets. So you have to let it go with you, because it describes womanhood. You know, like the women, they embrace Sidar, whereas the men, it's viewed as like this big volcano. The men calls, I seize Sidene.
Yeah,
you know,
it's kind of poisonous. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's even after the taint is gone. You know, but like it's like this rocky, like volcanic thing. It's like you have to conquer it, you know. You know, whereas women, it's like, you know, it's like the more you try to fight it, you know, it's like I think Robert Jordan was doing like a encapsulation of like what he feels like the genders or whatever. Because if I'm going to be a little sexist here, women's true power has always been in the shadows.
Well, yeah, and he emphasizes all of that, and that's my entire point with, like, you know, now it's like, oh, there are no differences because, you know, that would be anti, like,
the Olympics found that out real quick. You know, they're actually moving to like ban trans athletes.
Oh yeah, I heard about that
I thought
recently.
that was already in effect in some
Yeah,
states.
I think after the last Olympics where he had like that boxer
yeah. Yeah. So
Either their male genes are helping them, or they're juicing. There is no in between.
Yeah.
Or their males juicing.
But it's like, yeah, it's just like perfectly normal stuff in Wheel of Time where there's differences, there's strengths and weaknesses. We naturally butt heads when we work with each other, but we learn to work with each other.
Yeah, this is there's a concept in Wheel of Time that I think perfectly makes a point. So Robert Jordan, in the books, they say on several occasions, the greatest feats of the one power were always done by men and women working together. Because like even though they have two different halves, they can link. They can like link up their powers and like be more powerful. And he said the greatest feats were always with men and women working together. I think that's the ultimate thesis of Robert Jordan: is men and women, we're different. We each have our own pluses and minuses, but we're best when we work together. And I think that's the ultimate thesis of Robert Jordan's work.
Yeah. And as someone who hasn't reached the end of that series, but certainly agrees with that in the real world, and you see it even the first 5 books or so. Whenever the males have their partners who are sort of balancing them emotionally, and
I love Fael.
curbing.
Fael is like the perfect partner for Perrin. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, and they're curbing their worst tendencies where they're like, you could go too extreme to this side.
Oh,
like, I'm there to sort of like curb you back down, but also like I'm not always right either.
Like for example, the Brashear, for them, a fight is like a pastime. Like there's so many times where like they're fighting and Perrin doesn't hit her, and he can smell her disappointment. Like, what kind of fucked up culture do you have where like the women want to be hit? Like,
well, that's the same thing. It happens a lot in One Piece where like there's this whole island. It's blatantly ripped off of Wonder Woman and stuff with Amazon Themyscira, where it's called Amazon Lily. And like the main like female ruler of that island, she hits everybody. She has literally she's like a Twitch thought basically, because she's like
if Amaranth was Queen of Themyscira.
Her literal introduction is she's walking out on the deck of a boat and a kitten gets in her way. And it's like this super cute kitten that the anime has, and she kicks the fuck out of it. And she's like, and everybody's like, oh, you're so disgusting. And then they look at her and they're like, oh, never mind, we forgive you because she's super hot. And she's just like, that's right. I can do whatever I want. I can even kick an animal because I'm beautiful and I can get away with it. And it's just like, oh yeah. And it's just like, the reason that Luffy, the main character, wins her over is because he goes down and she tries to, her whole power is anybody who lusts after her, she can turn him to stone. She's like a Medusa. She can fire a little beam and just turn him to stone. And she tries it on him and it doesn't work because he's basically just like, oh, I'm in love with adventure. I'm not in love with any woman. And and she's like, and then she goes head over heels for him and gets like a love sickness and like basically like ends up swooning too much to even concentrate. And then she starts like pledging like, oh, Luffy, I'll make dinners for you and shit. Like basically like, I'm gonna do whatever you want because like you basically played hard to get, essentially.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they talk a lot, like people talk a lot about like white privilege and whatnot, but there's also different other type of privilege. Like, attractive privilege is very much a thing. Big booby privilege.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially on Twitch.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, he plays that as a joke, and I'm sure he never thought of any of the social implications or whatever. It's just like whenever you have an author, just like, and you get this a lot in manga because the authors are given a creative freedom and just like sort of an isolation in a sense where they're not affected by all this shit. And so you get a lot of stuff that a lot of people consider problematic or whatever. And it's just like, no, that's just like him being a natural dude and like making some jokes or even just like jokes that factor into the story. Like she's still a very strong, very like pivotal character in the series. Like Luffy could literally not get where he got without her, but
Mhm.
also she is played as a comedic note where she does fawn over him and does joke. She does have several scenes where she's like, "Oh, Luffy, how can I best please you?" Like, and he hides inside of her dress and he's like clinging to her and she's like blushing and like going all crazy for him and stuff as she's like trying to infiltrate a jail. So it's like whenever you see the reins taken off, where you're not in that Western thing where you have 36 sensitivity writers and you're having to watch all these educational videos before you write anything, you realize like how natural actually writing like this is, and how like, oh wow, whenever I'm not burdened by thinking of not offending people from 36 different angles, it's like, yeah, I do just like write and make a good story and just like, I don't know, the priorities are so mixed up with the Western media that it's like
Mhm.
Yeah.
you have to go through 36 layers of checked boxes before you actually get to the quality of the story. That is a natural handicap. And the Eastern writers that just can concentrate on a good story first, it's so much easier for them. That's why it happens in greater volume.
Yeah, that's a big problem with Western media. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. I think that's also why we kind of look upon early Marvel, the Marvel movies, because like they were auteur works. Like
Yep.
Joe Johnston directed Captain America. Kenneth Branagh did Thor. Joss
Could-
Whedon did Avengers.
Could Pepper Potts say, "Oh, I occasionally take out the trash" when she's looking at that woman that Tony Stark slept with? Could she say that today? Probably not, because that would be slut shaming or whatever. It's like, but that's a great joke in the first Iron Man, where she says like, "Oh, I'm tasked with many things, occasionally taking out the trash," and just like
Hey.
clearly staring at that reporter.
Yeah.
Sorry. Really quick, you guys mind if we wrap this up in like 10 to 15 minutes? I'm getting
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
low energy.
Yeah.
And I want to play a little bit of Where Winds Meet tonight.
Good deal. Where winds meet.
No, I mean, you guys can continue on, but yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was trying to get to a
I mean, I
closing
think
point.
we said it. I think I've said most of all I want to say. So
Yeah,
okay.
that's mostly it.
Should I put what's it called? Lost Kingdom in the title or Screecher?
Screecher, probably.
Screecher. Okay.
I mean,
okay,
do whatever
that.
you want. I'm kind of between projects at the moment. It's just you asked me to come on, so I came on. So
Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys being on. I mean, it's been a great one for sure. One for
Mhm.
the ages.
Yeah.
Anything else to plug? Any last words, closing words?
Yeah, well, even though Lethal Nonsense doesn't like it, I know at Claire Obscure, I'm still trying to finish that up. I'm on the Monolith currently. I'll probably I'm hoping to finish up the main story this weekend if I find the time. And then yeah, we'll be moving on. I'm trying to get through all the Game of the Year nominees by the end of the year. So like Dispatch and then hopefully a couple more by the end of
Where Winds
December
Meet.
there. What's that?
Are you gonna play Where Winds Meet?
Where
Game of the
Winds
Year
Meet.
candidate.
Oh. If it's available on PlayStation, sure, but
Yeah, it's a PlayStation and PC.
okay, cool.
Actually, it's free.
Oh, there you go. Well, then I'll certainly get to that. Yeah, Dispatch I've heard is only like 8 to 10 hours, so I'm like, oh, good. After Claire Obscure, which is like they're like, oh, 60 to 70 hours. I'm like, yeah, I'll take one that I can finish quick, sure.
Yeah, so Claire Obscure on John's channel.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you enjoyed the stream, go and give me a like. If you're on YouTube, consider subscribing. Twitch, go ahead and give me a follow. If you want to keep up with the community, go ahead and join the Discord. Links in the chat, and it's like everywhere in my profiles as well. So,
yeah.
I think that is it for this Lethal Nonsense number 24. Thank you guys again for coming on the stream, and we are